Hold on to your mug. We're in for a wild night.
Greeting, traveler.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Born to be Wild, a Wild exclusive Hearthstone podcast where we have fun hanging out with friends, talking about the Wild format of Hearthstone and spotlighting members of the Wild community. I'm your host, Nate Wolf. Joining me tonight, as always, two of my favorite people. Mike Lowe, how you doing tonight?
Yo, what up? I heard we got a ladder invader tonight. I'm ready.
We do. Hydra, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm stoked. We got a good show tonight. We've got a good guest. If you're watching live, you'll notice that I just have my green background this time. My computer isn't being nice to me, so we just got green. We don't have any crazy Dark Moon Fair roller coasters happening. But I'm still stoked. I know.
Happy that you're here. It's all good. Yeah, got nerfed this week.
Yeah, I got nerfed.
All right, you guys. I'm very excited tonight because joining us, we've got Wild Hearthstone streamer, Twitch partner, legendary player on multiple servers, invading tonight's show. It's MartianBuu. Welcome to the show.
Yo. Hey, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing amazing. I'm excited to hang out with you guys, talk some Hearthstone.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for coming on. It's great. Hey, so
welcome to the show.
Welcome, man.
One of the things that when we have guests on, one of the things that we typically do for those people who aren't familiar with you, they should be, but those who aren't, can you give us just a little introduction? You know, as much or as little as you're willing to share, but tell us about you. You know, how long you've been playing Hearthstone, why you like Wild format, and that sort of thing.
So I've been playing Hearthstone since, I haven't been playing since the beta, but I've been playing since Classic. So Nax coming out was exciting.
Nice.
I've been playing pretty consistently. I've had little dips where I don't play as often, but pretty much at least a lot of the time throughout. I've been playing Hearthstone. I am a nostalgic. So a little bit of Martian history. I've been playing card games since forever. Hearthstone is nowhere near my first card game. First one was Pokemon TCG, actually. I grew up playing that game and going to tournaments, and they didn't have a Wild format, at least not one that was supported in any way. So once things rotated out of their standard, they were gone for good. There was no way to play with those cards again.
Oh wow, I did not know it was like that.
Yeah, they came out with one a few years back. They have what they call expanded now.
Yeah, it's out now, but yeah.
Yeah. So for me, new sets would come out, and I would think of something old and be like, wow, that synergy is going to be really cool, and I'd want to build a deck around it, and then I'd be like, oh wait, I can't build this deck. That format isn't supported. So Hearthstone having a Wild format where I can use every card I've become attached to over the years is especially fun for me because I get attached to cards and I want to try things out with everything that I've ever used before. I do like Standard, but I mostly like Wild, and it's because I just get attached to cards.
Nice. Hey, what posters do you have behind you? I see a Gengar Mimikyu.
Okay, so the Gengar Mimikyu one here, that's for getting first place at a League Cup in Pokemon. That one was the day 2 if you didn't do well at a regionals League Cup. So there were 100 people in my division.
Wow, that's awesome though. There. Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. And this one, that one was 2019. This one here, I think, was 2015. I forget, but it's top 4 at regionals, which is 1,000 people in my division. I think I got 3rd that time, but 3rd or 4th.
That's impressive.
Dude. Yeah, no, I've only played Pokemon competitively once, and it was a small league thing where there was we had 20 or 30 people, I think.
In that game, you can say league.
yeah, we can't say it. We can't say it on our show. We'll get revoked. Nice. That's impressive though. Coming in 3rd out of 1,000 people. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty fun,
bro. That's dope.
This is just MartianBuu, for whom I take my name. This is a That's like Scourge War, which was the it was a WoW TCG expansion. Playmat modeled after that. You can see the Lich King and Tyrion on it. And then this one is just all the DBZ characters that were around at the time of the printing of that mat.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Speaking of your namesake, that's the other question that we have to always ask people. And sometimes there's a crazy story and sometimes there's not. But how did you come up with your name?
So my real name is Marshall. My buddy likes to give us all superhero, or like used to. This was like 15 years ago. I don't know. Used to like to give us all superhero themed nicknames, and the best he could come up with for me was Martian, in honor of Martian Manhunter.
Respect, man. I like it. I like it. All right.
When I started streaming in April, I didn't want it, like my old Twitch handle was ccg_Martian, and I just thought that was clunky. So I wanted to like come up with something new, and I couldn't just have Martian because Martian's fairly common. Somebody else has that. So I like Dragon Ball Z. Martian sounds vaguely like Majin, so MartianBuu.
Mm-hmm.
Very clever.
Okay.
Very clever.
I like that.
You just made mine sound bad.
Oh,
I'm just a
love
Hydralisk. I'm just a
That is
Hydralisk.
literally my favorite StarCraft unit. Is Hydralisk. So I think it's awesome.
Nice.
It's okay. Me and Mike are in the same boat. Like, I just use my name.
Well, you know what's cool? So I did have a different username before, but I got so much like flack for it, I changed it just to my name.
Yours
So
was
if I
Dragon
actually
Ball
kept
related
it-
too, right?
Yeah, because I used to play the card game back like 2002, long time ago. And living in New Hampshire, there's not a lot of brothers around. So every city, everywhere has card shops, you know? So in this particular card shop, me being the only brother playing Dragon Ball Z, the deck I played was Goku. So they gave me the nickname Blackarot based off of Kakarot. So like I used to play a lot of Dragon Ball Z myself. So like Martian, this isn't my first card game either. You know, we all come from different card games backgrounds.
But enough people gave you heck, you had to change it.
Yeah, I just changed it to Mike and Nate. That's what we are.
Yo, it's easy. I'll say that. But it's all right.
So with the fact that you have the trading card game, the Warcraft trading card game picture you were just talking about, did you actually play that game?
I did. I loved it. I'm sad it's dead.
You know what, man? This was before COVID hit, but I was in, I went to a Goodwill store. My wife was looking for whatever it was, and we were in there, and I kind of meandered over to the toy section, and there was a freaking whole box of like WoW TCG cards, and I did not buy them, and I totally should have, because like even just for the artwork, it would have been like $10 or something, right? I regret it to this day. And, nobody plays, but like it would have been, there's such a collector item. And then later, right, I am looking for artwork or something for the show, go online and I'm looking at WoW TCG cards. I know they had a specific expansion for Dark Moon Fair, and the freaking cards are selling for like $100 for this one, $500 for this one. It's like, oh my God.
I have a fun WoW TCG story.
Oh, please share. Yeah.
So there's a card called Spectral Tiger. In the WoW TCG, there are all these cards that like you can scratch off like you could with a lottery ticket. You can scratch off to reveal the code and then go to actually World of Warcraft, type in that code, and get something you can use in that game. When I was in high school, one of my buddies pulled this card and scratched it off because he didn't know. He scratched it off and put it in game. That thing was worth over $1,000 unscratched.
Oh,
The poor guy. Me and my other friend pulled a reprint of it a few years later, and that thing was worth like $700. We sold it on eBay and split it up. But
wow.
but man, like, feels bad. He does have like one of the swaggiest in-game items, like most OG in World of Warcraft, because of it. But 1,500 would have gone a long way back then.
Oh my
boy.
goodness.
Of course, it would now. But
Yeah.
We have this conversation a lot with people, but I feel like because you have a TCG background, particularly Pokemon, I feel like I can bring it up here again. A lot of times people complain about Hearthstone being expensive, and like, dude, I built one competitive Pokemon deck and it was like $300, and that wasn't even anything super crazy. And so I think, you know, for less than that, I could get an entire set of Hearthstone and play any deck that I want, right? Or at least for this for an expansion. And so, what is your take on that? I'm sure you've got decks that are probably more expensive than that.
Hearthstone is very cheap for a card game, but it is extremely expensive for a video game, and it is both of those things.
That's a good take. I like that.
Yeah, so you play not just on North Americas, you play on EU and Asia as well, correct?
Yeah, I have a free-to-play account on both of the other servers, so EU and Asia, that I started recently.
Nice. How's that going for you?
It's going pretty good. So like, I do this thing for the first 3 weeks of the month where I like let viewers dictate what decks I play. So I'm not always playing the best things in the meta on that server. So leading into the last week of the month where I start playing just whatever I want to play, whatever I think is the best. I'll be at like 2,000 legend, and then I climb up to like somewhere in the 200s usually. But I don't play, you know, meme and viewer decks on my Asia and EU accounts. So they just get to like park in top 10. So it's kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So two things. I was watching a stream of yours. This is probably a couple months ago at this point, but I remember this must have been right after you started. I think it was a free to play on Asia, maybe. I don't know. You were playing Pirate Warrior.
Oh, that was my Asia one.
And I remember watching you, and it was like some games, you know, you smork and you win, and some games you just get wrecked. And I will say that you are a man of like infinite patience, and I am so curious, like, how do you keep your cool? Because I get so tilted, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just emotionally invested in the game, but like, I don't know. And I've hit legend with Pirate Warrior, but like, my goodness, someone slams down a Void Daddy, and it's like computer flip, you know.
Yeah.
So what is your secret?
I think it's a few things. One, I've been getting wrecked by, you know, random top decks for 20 years now, so I'm used to it. The other thing is, like, for every time my opponent top decks, you know, whatever they need for the situation, I've top decked whatever I need for the situation. So like, it does feel bad when you're on the receiving end, but like, getting unlucky or getting lucky is just part of the game. And I play enough to where like any one game isn't that important to me. So if like, as long as I can get away from that game and get into the next one, I'm about the next game already. I like, all right, well, they got lucky, so on to the next one. And usually in most of my games, my opponent doesn't get like hyper lucky and destroy me out of nowhere. It's just something that happens sometimes. So yeah, just keep charging forth.
That's a really good attitude to have. When it comes to that question that Nate just spoke of, for some reason, for myself, I actually only get tilted if I'm playing on NA. It sounds really funny because that's the account that I pay for. Like, it's the one that I've spent money on, the one that I've had forever. And like you, Martian, I have the other accounts, but they're free to play. And if I'm doing well on them, it's a bonus. Like, I'm like, sweet. And if I get rolled, for some reason it doesn't seem to bother me. I don't know why. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But I lose. I don't know. I didn't spend any money, so whatever. It's a weird frame of mind, but for some reason that's how I work.
Hey, like, I've paid to win. How come I'm not winning? You're like,
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, yo, I spent money. I thought this should be an easy win.
Yeah, I'm getting stopped as free to play. I can accept that.
Well, I mean, what about, I thought you know, we all know Hydra's got all these golden cards, right? And I think, aren't you supposed to have a higher win rate with golden cards? Come
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's science right there.
It's the dumbest frame of mind, but I don't know.
If you're free to play and somebody beats you, you just shrug your shoulders and you're like, Oh, they must have bought those cards.
They must have bought them. Exactly.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
You nailed it, Mike. They paid for those. That's why they won.
That's the running joke, right? What is the best card in Hearthstone? Credit card? Oh dear.
Stars last month. It's awesome.
Some sick Hearthstone cards.
Yeah, how much you pay for those 11 stars?
See, the characters, if you call anybody, they'll take it back. So.
Oh, I see. Martian, you're like, are you like have a pay account on NA and then free to play on the other servers? Is that how you do it?
Right.
So that's what Hydra does, basically.
That's cool.
I now also have a free-to-play account on NA as well. I kind of wanted to do some free-to-play again earlier this month, and I'd run out of other servers. So I started a brand new one. So I've done the free-to-play on that new account now on NA and EU.
Nice.
I
was talking to... Sorry, go for it, Hydrate. Go for it.
Oh, no. It's really weird because he seems to have the same sort of thing that I do, because I did that also. I think it's already been over a year, but I made another free-to-play NA just like you said you were doing. Just because it was whenever they introduced having the 50 levels before rank 20, or however it worked. Remember, you start off at rank 50 and you had to climb to get to rank 20, and then you could never fall behind. They introduced that, and I was like, I'm doing it. I don't know why.
I actually hate those ranks. I skip them after the first time. Like, I've done 4 free-to-play runs now, and I can't do it. It's too awful down there.
I just did that the one song over there. The other accounts I have, that didn't exist when I made those accounts. But
I asked Hydra the same question, and I'll ask it to you. Do you think that it gives you a unique perspective when you've got like I don't know what to call it, like a paid account on one server? So you've got the perspective of someone who's got a good collection, but then also a free-to-play account on a different server. So you've got that different perspective of, well, maybe I've got to dust some cards to play the cards that I want, or maybe I need to save up my gold differently or something.
Yeah, so for those accounts, I had one goal in mind, and it was to get to Legend without paying any money on a brand new account. So I wasn't invested in the collections I'd never planned on revisiting them after I went there the first time. I just kind of like being able to queue on those servers whenever I feel like it. So like initially what I've done with all of them is just like, all right, this is the deck I'm going to build, and if it doesn't go in this deck, it's going to become dust. And for the most part, that was fine, but like, when I went back last month, I was like high on Kingsbane. So I wanted to play Kingsbane on all 3 servers. It wasn't that hard to make it on my Pirate Warrior server because there's a lot of crossover there. Mm-hmm. But on the server where I had built Secret Mage, I didn't have any of the Kingsbane stuff. So I had to do a bunch of extra like free-to-play stuff over the course of like a week in order to craft that deck and destroy even more things. So... I could definitely see like Hearthstone is free to play a couple of things. You know, like you can free to play like a deck, and then if you're putting in enough time, you can probably build another one later. But it does feel very restrictive. So if it was my main account, I could imagine myself getting bored. But it's not. So I only play them when I'm feeling competitive.
Yeah. All right, so you had mentioned, and I was reading about it earlier, like, so you play listener decks the first 3 weeks of the month, and then you try hard the last month, right? It's for ladder placement. Mm-hmm. Are you going for that 11 stars?
I'll probably get it. I think I haven't not gotten it since I maybe didn't get it the first time after they implemented it, but I've never not gotten it since.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
So,
okay.
Oh, thank you.
We got a good player in the house tonight.
My free-to-play accounts all have it. Now my standard on my main account has it. I would be surprised if I didn't get it on my main account.
Nice, dude. Okay, so as far as listener, playing listener, or I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong, viewer request decks, what are some of the craziest decks that people ask you to play?
I get all kinds. I get like people who don't don't really understand synergy. Like they just put in a bunch of their favorite stuff, which like I like all that type of like. What's been really fun for me about viewer decks, because I had no intention of doing that when I started streaming. I just kind of fell into it. Like you get to know people through the types of decks that they build. You know, like some people just kind of like give me a pile of their favorite things. Some people give me decks that are designed to make me lose in a fantastic way. I get like 35 legendaries, Malkazar, Reno Quest Mage sometimes. They're like all these interesting synergies and strategies that like aren't competitively effective that I don't think I would have known about if I didn't do these viewer decks all the time. It's really cool.
I like that it helps you get to know people. We kind of saw it a little bit. We had Keith Numbers on the show recently, and he does something similar. And I've been streaming lately on Saturday nights, like once a week or so, and kind of been doing the same thing. And it's super fun. I kind of felt like, at least for me personally, that playing ranked Hearthstone, like I try hard when I'm trying to hit legend, no problem. Okay, and then we get there and it's like, all right, well, I don't want to play Reno Priest the rest of the month. Like I want to have fun. And I started getting frustrated trying to play meta decks, and I kind of was like, hey, chat, what do you want me to play? I'll play anything. I've got the cards, like give me a list. And started playing like Evolve Shaman and Reno Shutterwalk Shaman and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I had more fun doing that than I've had in ages. And so I think there's something there.
You know what? The experience of getting to Legend has been ruined for me with the new way that they do it. Before they changed it last year at the beginning, my like Hearthstone experience was get to Legend in Standard, get to Legend in Wild, and then I'd like go play another game. And if I was gonna play, I'd do like what you're saying, where I just goof off and play whatever silliness, because I'd already achieved my goal. It took me like a couple of weeks, like a week or two on the ladder to get to Legend in both formats, and so like that was my competitive section. And then like I'm not trying to get top 10 or anything in Legend, or at least I used to not be that way, because it took me so much of the month to even get there. But then you can't lose ranks there, so it was like free license to do whatever I want. Because I get to Legend so fast under the new system, it's not like getting to Legend is fun. It's just kind of a tax I have to do at the beginning.
Right. The 2 stars has got to make it a lot easier.
Oh yeah, like that's kind of what like makes me want to do those things. But like, so like I only ever started tryharding in this new system, where I'm like already in Legend basically after the first or second day. But like that's the fun of the free to play accounts, is like you have this long period of time that you have to get to Legend because there's no star bonus. I miss those days.
Yeah. Oh man, it's interesting. I mean, as I've been playing for a long time, since about Naxxramas, I think, and I hit Legend years ago, like before the ladder change. And dude, that was a chore. No bonus stars, and it was 5 stars per rank instead of 3, and all the stuff. Like, oh man, those
ranked floors.
No ranked floors. Oh, that was painful.
Getting
I did like the ranked
to
floors.
That was. Yeah. So getting reset to rank 16 was the brutal one. And I remember, like, if you were at 16 and you in a certain amount of stars, I think you needed like a win or 2 wins, and you would go to 15 after they put in the ranked floor. But if you lost, you went down, and you're like, oh no, I didn't get to the stupid rank 15 floor when they put that in, because you could really screw that one up.
Yep.
My ladder anxiety.
It was really brutal before. Go ahead, Martian.
Oh, sure. My ladder anxiety went away completely as soon as they added the ranked floors. Like I didn't need it to catch me, but like I was never stressed out after they added them, because I knew I could only lose so much rank. So that gives you the opportunity to kind of sit on the ranked floor and experiment with whatever you want to do to keep moving forward. But also you don't have to feel like if I'm not playing like the best thing ever, I'm not gonna like. There is something there to catch me. Like I can only lose so much of my progress, so it's less stressful.
Yeah, I think that's something I used to struggle with it quite a bit. I know we've got some viewers and listeners that struggle with that. Do you have any words of wisdom in regards to ladder anxiety?
Like for me, it really depends on what your goal is. So like if you're trying to get to legend, it's about, you have to, not every homebrew is legend viable. Like you have to play something that's somewhat competitive. I recently got to legend on the free to play account. That was with Wild Libram Pure Paladin. And
Holy
like
crap.
it had some really hard loss matchups.
Yeah.
Like Priest felt impossible. But like you balance that with time, like it takes less time to get to legend with like Secret Mage than it does with, Murloc Shaman. Because it's a slightly more viable deck. So like you have to balance how much time am I willing to put into this goal, and if it's not a lot of time, then you have to go with something hyper competitive, learn it really well, never play when you're tilted, and like when you've had a bad experience, just take a break.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I
Hey,
think-
real quick,
Yeah,
Martian,
no,
what
yeah,
was
go
the
for
name
it.
of that deck? Name that deck one more time.
It was Pure Libram Paladin.
I love hearing that. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Love
Nate.
it. I love it. Yeah, no, I think managing tilt is one of the most important things, right? Like it feels bad when you lose, and especially in a game that's heavily RNG based. It's very easy, to see or experience your opponent top decking the perfect answer, and you don't. But I think that if you were to go back and look at stats later, like we were talking, and I don't know if this was before we went on air or not, but that there are just as many games where you top deck the perfect answer and your opponent's probably raging on the other side, right? Where it's good to keep that in mind.
There is one mistake that I think a lot of people make, and I used to make personally, which is switching decks. So like if you're playing something that's like tier 1 or tier 2, it's a good deck for ladder, and switching is not going to carry you. You just have to eat a couple. Like if you're on a 5-loss streak, that doesn't necessarily mean that's too low of a sample size to say that it's the deck's problem.
Yeah.
Like sometimes your opponents will get lucky 5 times in a row. If you're playing like a decent Secret Mage list, you're gonna get to legend as long as you're making good choices and playing enough. And switching to another deck isn't gonna like hard carry you. You want to learn the ins and outs and the nuances. I know that people don't like to hear that Secret Mage has nuances, but every deck has nuances.
Yeah.
So
No, you're right. Please speak on that, because people don't like to hear it. But at the end of the day, when you're trying to get better, we have to put the sarcasm to the side for just 1 second. So I like that you said that. Thank you.
Yeah, so like the deck that I brought for you guys today, I was playing that recently. It's like a very aggressive deck, and people like to talk about aggro noobs, right? Like I misplay with that aggro deck more than I misplay with anything else, and it's because it's going all face. I kind of check out and just like think about chat and stuff like that. And they're like there might be less decisions to make, but the decisions you make are super important. I throw games constantly with the aggro deck because I'm in the mentality like, oh, these all go face. I don't have to worry about it. And then I miss something that I needed to do that was like alternate to that, and I lose the game because of it. Like the more you play with the same deck, the more you know it, and the better you're going to do with it. So like if you haven't played a game, like if you hear that Secret Mage or Raza Priest or Darkglare Warlock is the best deck in the meta, and you've played less than 5 games with it, and you've lost all 5 of those games,
It's
you're
you.
probably you just haven't gotten used to it yet. Like,
Sorry.
You got to play at least like 50 games before like you start to see like the little lines. Like
I agree.
I think you have a good point there, because I think the example that I think of for me personally is like, okay, my favorite deck of all time is Q Block. It's seen a lot of different variations over time. I think currently right now it's probably sitting somewhere in tier 3, right? But like you can hit legend with it. And I think there's so many intricacies to some of these decks that like if you play it, hundreds of games in this, it inside and out, the matchups, the card interactions, like you can take a deck that's not as well placed in the meta and still do well with it because you know it so well. And I agree. I mean, I just think it takes hundreds of games. I watched someone like Slizzle, right? You take an odd rogue deck and pilot it to legend, easy peasy. And then I will play it like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing with this, and I just throw games left and right. And this deck is awful. Why does everyone think it's so good? It's me.
Yeah.
So
That exact same thing happened to me with Odd Rogue. I had like a winning percentage, but I'm playing the thing. I like it, not as successful as some others. And then I watched Trips play the deck, and I'm watching him play, and I'm like, oh, that's why I suck. Gotcha. Let's do what Trips does. and learn how the deck actually is supposed to be played, because yes, no, it's not always just point something face.
yeah. All right, you guys. Do you have any other questions for Martian before we sort of get into the meat of the show?
Yeah, I do. Are you excited for the rest of the episode?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Right on.
I like it.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Before we get too far into the main part of the show, I want to take a quick second out to say thank you very much to the patrons of our show. First off, a gigantic shout out to Shokunin, who's the executive producer of our show. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to us. And also a big shout out to our patrons. So I've got Adam W., Claudette G., Daniel B., Justin M., and our good friends Wildcard and Armor. And thank you guys so very much. We really appreciate your help and support. If anybody that's watching or listening is interested in supporting the show financially, you can visit our website at borntobewildhs.com. Click the Find Us page, and there's a link to our Patreon. Every little bit helps, even if it's $1 a month. Alternatively, you can support the show by purchasing any of the Born to Be Wild merchandise. Again, if you visit the website, there's a merch page, and we've got all different sizes, colors, shapes of shirts, hoodies, hats, toques, you name it. And also a big thank you to Wildcard and his wife, who helped us set up the shop and have done a really awesome job. Something that I just learned today, actually, I thought this was kind of interesting. And I don't want to belabor the point, but if you're interested in supporting the show financially, Patreon is the way to go, where rather than like a Twitch sub or something, because the Twitch subs, Twitch or Amazon or whoever owns it is like they take 50% of any of the profits. And so if you are looking to support the show in a financial way, Patreon is a much better way, at least for us. No pressure at all. I don't want anyone to feel obligated, but if you are interested in supporting, that is one way to do it. If you are interested in supporting the show in a non-monetary way, there's a couple really, really simple but super effective things that you can do. Primarily, like and subscribe to our videos on YouTube. A lot of people don't know, like the bulk of our watches on YouTube are just people browsing. You click play and then you watch it and go. But by hitting the subscribe button, it triggers like YouTube algorithms that, it's just a computer, right? But it recognizes those things and it boosts us. The other thing is like go on iTunes and leave a review. That'd be super cool too, because it helps people find us. Anyways, that's it. I don't want to. This part of the show always makes me uncomfortable because we really, really appreciate the support, but I don't like asking for it. So I'll just leave it at that and move on. The other thing that we always do at the very beginning of our show that I really enjoy doing is shouting out new wild legends. And so we've got a couple tonight, at least one here. Let me see. So first up, Hearthstone Dad, aka Signatos on Twitter, who hit Wild Legend for the first time this month. Super awesome. And then one came in right before the show started, who is, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, but it's Janez. After years of casual grinding, finally hit Legend. Special thanks to Slizzle, Meaty, Blister Guy, and many others. Hit Legend with Wild version of Big Priest. And so to you guys, Janez and Signatos here, congrats, you guys. It's super awesome. It's a gigantic accomplishment to hit Legend for the first time. For me personally, I'll never forget. It was on Easter break. Final boss was on my iPad. No deck tracker, no nothing. Playing Breakfast Paladin with pre-nerf Call to Arms, and my arms are like shaking. I'm holding the iPad, and it was such a big giant weight lifted off my chest. Not that like anybody should feel obligated to do it, but it was a goal for such a long time, and so for me personally, I feel like living vicariously through you guys. Like when I watch people do this for the first time and they're just so stoked.
Here's the question:
makes me happy.
Was your wife in the room and saw you jump up and dance around and yell "woo" like an idiot?
No, but my kid was, and and then I was up on the second floor, and then I was yelling and screaming and hollering, and then he was, and then we both ran downstairs. It was great. It was just great.
Oh, yeah, I love how my wife gets to watch my reactions to games. The other day, I actually it wasn't the other day. It was like a month or two ago. Last month, I think it was. I had like one more star to go, and I lost, and I like got up and I threw my toque. And I'm like, dang it! I stormed off to the bedroom. She's like, babe, did you lose? I'm like, yes! Take a break. Don't have those 11 stars.
Oh my goodness.
First time legend is really cool because everyone's capable of legend, and once you've been there one time, that little voice in the back of your mind that's telling you can't do it gets a little bit more silent. You know, like every time you do it, the legend climb becomes easier just because you can't doubt yourself as much anymore.
Yeah, that little voice gets a little bit more quiet,
Yep.
It's good stuff.
Okay. Well, let's move on
Yeah,
to
real quick. Sorry to cut you off.
What do you got,
But
Tom?
we do have somebody who was left off the list. I don't want them to be left.
Ooh.
His name is Don, Disruptor 108. He's also a patron. He's all access patron. So I want to shout him out. Nate doesn't like to do this role, but I do. We do appreciate the support. Not afraid to ask for it because we don't push for it. So the people who do support us, we just want to make sure that we direct you in an area where the funds and finances you do send our way can be used more efficiently and faster versus, half your money going to Jeff Bezos, as we all talked about earlier. The money that you guys do send to us, it does help. We do appreciate it. We're not begging for it. We're not digging for it. We just want to direct you to the place that will help us better. So we do have that link on the website inside the Discord, and I can put it inside the stream. Just want to make sure that all the patrons who are at those levels for the shout out do get them. I'm doing this for Disruptor because he actually messaged me in Discord today asking for the role. So just want to follow through with it because that's what we do promise on the page, that you guys will receive that role in Discord. So just want to put that in there real quick. Sorry to cut you off, Hydra. Just
Love it. No, that's great. That's great.
Every fan matters, so just wanted to get them.
Yeah. Good call there. Good call. So at this point in the show, usually we like to just check in with everybody, see what you've been up to for the week, whether it's in the game of Hearthstone, in your life, just, what's going on. So, Boo, how you been, Martian? What's been going on? What have you been doing recently?
I'm trying to think of like a non-Hearthstone related thing that's been different. It's mostly just the same old stuff. Hearthstone specifically, I was in the China versus I still am, but the China versus the West tournament that Team Wildside did.
Yes.
I made the top 4, so that's happening sometime this weekend.
Oh,
awesome. Who
Dude,
all's in the top
congrats.
4 there?
Yeah, thanks. It's me, Last Druid, who was a China player, and then Hazer, who was on here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Hijo.
Cool.
Oh, that's sick, man. That's so cool.
That's exciting.
So is the day and time set yet, or are you not sure yet?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. All right. We'll keep an eye out for that.
I think it's happening Sunday.
So you're part of our illustrious special guest Twitter list. So when you tweet it, we'll see it in our feed, and then we'll retweet it, and then we'll get it going, man. We got your back.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah. Continue with your week. Sorry.
That's basically been about it. Just playing a lot of Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, how do you, when you're, what do you look for, in this final week when you're trying to grind? How do you pick a deck to play?
I don't, the thing that gets under my skin the most, is when I queue a deck that loses to my opponent's portrait. So, for example, in Ashes of Outland, before Lucia was printed, Raza Priest had a pretty hard loss to Quest Mage. So I didn't play Raza Priest because every time I would see Mage, I had lost already. My choices didn't matter beyond what I chose to bring to the ladder. So I didn't get to actually play a game. I didn't get to try to win. I play Hearthstone to try to win, not like winning is nice. Like winning is better than losing for sure. But like if everyone on the ladder just conceded to me right off the bat, I wouldn't play. You know, like I play to try to win. So if I am robbed of my opportunity to try to win, I don't play that deck. So I pick whatever is the most viable and has the most kind of like well-rounded matchups because I want to try to win.
Nice.
Gotcha. That's really, really cool. Well, Mike, what have you been doing? Let's go with you. What's your week been like? What have you been up to, man?
I was keeping it low key. Home, that issue. You know, the world is somehow back open, even though nothing's really changed. But everything's changed. So, been playing some Hearthstone. Been playing more. Actually, jumped into some standard, playing some Evolve Shaman. Been pretty exciting. It's a nice change of pace. It's kind of refreshing. Like Marshall was saying earlier, at a certain point, you queue into the same stuff all the time. It's really cookie cutter. So just for me, I needed a refresh. Not that I get sick of the game, but there are other formats and game modes, as Ixar pointed out. So been over there. I got to try the wild version that Nate posted on YouTube. It looks pretty cool. Aside from that, putting together the listener league we're going to talk about in a little bit. I played in a couple of rounds of qualifier today. Obviously didn't make it that far because I'm here on the show.
Oh well, sorry.
No, it's okay.
You can still play on your phone while doing the show.
No, I'm not in the qualifier, so it's not worth it. But this weekend, I will be guest hosting on the other Wild podcast, our older little brother. How does it go?
Our little big brother show.
our little big brother. Yeah. The Hearthstoners with Sheila, Cena, and Goldaniel.
Nice.
On Sunday night. So Sunday night at 9. So 24 hours from now. So this Pepsi might be something else. You know what I'm saying? It's a different environment over there.
Hearthstone After Dark. That's right.
Oh, it's gonna be. Oh yeah, After Dark, man. Yeah, it's gonna be great. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
Cool. That should be a good time. Make sure to tune into that.
Yeah.
How about you, Nate? What's been going on? I saw you got a package in the mail. That's pretty sweet. I guess.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So this has been a really eventful week for me. So I'll try to go quick because I know we try to limit it to 5 minutes a person. So I'm gonna try to jam through everything.
Oh, that package. Oh, all right. Hold on.
We're gonna.
I got a capture card for my Nintendo Switch, but that's not even cool enough to what Nate's about to show you guys. Yeah, yo, this is way better.
This has been a crazy week, right? So okay, I'm sitting at like 1500 legend in Hearthstone. I played a little bit, trying to keep up with my quests and stuff. Positive win rate, but I'm not really. I'm kind of like camping at 1500. It's going to be 10 stars. That's totally fine. I'll lose a couple ranks. I'll get down to 1800. I'll play back to about 15 and sit there. Totally cool with that. That's fine. Over this past week, we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which was just a humongous milestone for us. Collectively as a show, I think we've been trying really hard. And so I'm proud of that accomplishment just because we really put in a lot of work to make that happen. And so that was exciting. When the Tiller OTK combo came out, it was kind of funny, but I played it day one. Like I wanted to see what all this hype was. Went home, played it, made a video about it, hit 1,500 views in 2 days, which never happens to our videos. So that was like, whoa.
Nice.
So Nate, you gotta explain it the way you explained it to me. Like you got home, the whole family thing.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah, the set had come out. This unfortunately, this happens like anytime there's a new Hearthstone pack. You know, I walk in the front door because I got to work all day, and then I get home, and everyone's, hey, how's it going? You want dinner? You want to hang out? Nope, I'm going upstairs and playing Hearthstone. Sorry. It doesn't happen very often, so.
I gotta get this before it's nerfed.
I know he said it. No, he said it lovingly, but it was just funny the way it came out to me because I got a weird personality. It was just funny. I guess it's a Netflix TV show. You know, like
it's. I love you, but. Yeah. So that Tiller OTK. Honestly, I'm glad that sort of died this week. It was very frustrating to lose to, and it was interesting because I played it on day one when it was unrefined. And just to see it within 1 week, the amount of refining that people did. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm going to go play PlayStation until this gets nerfed, because it's not that the combo is super OP. I mean, I farmed it with Kingsbane. It was great, you know? Yeah, keep tapping, draw your cards, and then I'll just smork you. It was awesome. But I think for me, the frustrating thing was that I was seeing it like every other deck was Tiller combo, whether it was Priest or Warlock, and I just got tired of seeing it. So, and I don't know that the combo itself was super OP. I mean, you could do 60 damage in one turn, but it was mostly, even if they messed up, the part that was really tilting was that it would skip the opponent's turn. And so I would have times where they did it wrong, or I had a ton of armor, or I had an ice block, and you'd have to like log out of the game, log back in, try to reconnect, and hope that you have enough time to react to the board state. Anyways, so we can get there later, but I think in other news, I got my first COVID vaccine this week. I was eligible for the phase 1A through work, and so I got that on Thursday night. My arm feels like somebody punched it really hard. It's like but no weird side effects or anything yet. I'll let you guys know if I start like if I start growing horns or start growing hair on my tongue or something. I'll let you guys know. But
turn into a Murloc.
So far, I'm just fine. So I had ordered a PlayStation 5. It was super cool. Came in the mail today, right before the show, which was awesome because it wasn't even supposed to ship until February 15th. And so it came early, and it was kind of funny because I got home from work. I'm trying to get ready for the show, trying to prep everything. And my son wants to play it really bad. Like, I want to play it. I'm like, I got to get ready. And he's like, well, I want to play it. And so we like, I can't do that to him, right? Like, no, you can't play until tomorrow when it's sitting right here. And so I was jamming, trying to get it all set up, and then there's a way that you can port over all your data from the PS4 onto the PS5. It's backwards compatible, which is super cool. And so trying to get all that set up before the show, which caused us to be about 10 minutes late. My apologies. But it's super exciting. And so I'm looking forward to that. My PS4 is the original, like the day one version, and the hard drive, to put into perspective, PS4 hard drive is like 4 gigs. The PS5 hard drive is like 800 gigs. And so when you want to play a game, like I have to delete a game in order to play a different game because there's just no space. And the fan on that PS4 is so loud that it sounds like a helicopter is going to just take off and fly away. And so I was worried that like it was going to die, mid game, and I was going to lose some data or something. And so thankfully, I'm super excited. I haven't played it yet, but it looks nice.
You're not going to sleep tonight.
It's the weekend, man. I don't get to sleep. I don't have to work until Monday.
I'll be in Discord voice.
Hey. So
Switch, let's do it.
The only other thing that I did this week, and I'm pretty happy about it. We don't talk about mental health on the show all that much, but I take meds for ADHD, and for a long time, I think I got diagnosed like, I don't know, maybe like a year and a half ago. I mean, I swear I've had it probably forever, but I started taking meds for it about a year and a half ago. The medication I had was only supposed to be a year, and the problem with it was that my doctor said, hey, you take this as needed, and I would always forget to take it, and that was part of the problem, is that like by the time I realized that I should have taken it, I'm like leaving work for the day when it's like I'm going to go home and do nothing for the rest of the night. And I don't know how else to describe it. A lot of people describe it as like starting lots of projects but not finishing them, or like having a browser window with 40 windows open at the same time. A lot of diverted attention stuff. And I was struggling because the medication was just not taking it. It was like self-directed, take as you want to, and so I had a 1-year dosage that took me a year and a half, and because I'd forget about it more often than not. And so I had an appointment yesterday and was like, hey, I need something different. This is not working for me. I need something that's like, I need you to regulate it. give me something that's like time released or something that I can do regularly that will help. And so I got my dosage like figured out and kind of on a regular thing now, and that should just make my life so much easier between work and other projects. And so I'm pretty happy about that. I don't know how else to explain it aside from being able to think and focus so much more clearly. So I'm happy about that. It was a big move. So good week, very good week.
Awesome. That sounds really, really good. It must be hard to describe, I guess, to somebody who has never experienced what the difference is like. But no, that's awesome.
It's difficult to describe. I mean, it's like, I don't know how else to put it. I mean, it's you get distracted very easy, start a lot of things but don't finish them. I don't even know. We could talk on it for hours, but some other day.
Cool.
Anyways, how are you?
I'm doing good. I don't know if you remember from last week, but I was complaining about how I went and got myself one of those Oculus VR headsets, and
did you get it fixed?
I didn't get it fixed. So what happened was I was talking to the techies over there at Oculus every single day trying to get this darn thing to work. I tried absolutely everything, and it was just like a no go. And I tried everything 10 times. And it was just a headache. And then the weekend came. So we talked about this on the show Friday last week. Saturday morning came, and I was just bummed out that I couldn't get this thing to work. And I'm like, you know what? I've tried so many things. I bet this darn thing's just a stupid dud. Like, it's got to be. Because there's no way... I even plugged it into my wife's gaming laptop, and it wasn't functioning correctly. So I'm like, I'm going to Best Buy. So I go to Best Buy and I buy a second one. So now I have two. But I plug in the second one, and it worked absolutely instantly and perfectly. And I spent a week straight troubleshooting this thing, probably like 5 hours a night.
You got a lemon, dude.
I got a total lemon, and I was so bummed that I had wasted all that time and frustration trying to get it to work. And then I got another one, and then it just worked instantly. So, anyways, I've returned the original back to Amazon for a full refund. So that's good. But the thing was, when I bought the second one from Best Buy, it was kind of like a bit of a gamble, because Best Buy's rule was if you open the box, there is no return.
Oh, dude, their return policy sucks. I always buy stuff. I don't know. You're in Canada, so I don't know if they got that. But I typically, when I buy electronics, I do my best to get them through Costco, because you can return just about anything. Like, their return policy is so good.
Yes, that's very true. They probably have them there too. I never even thought about it.
Wait, so Best Buy's policy is if the box is opened, you can't return it?
Yeah. So you have to deal with, at that point you have to deal with the manufacturer. So that's why.
Been there before. Yep.
Yeah. So I was going through, even though I bought my original one from Amazon, I was going through talking to, like, through their website and everything like that, back and forth, email back and forth, trying to get it to work. But Amazon was really good. They accepted it back instantly. So I just and they just refund your account. So that's cool. So it works, and my kid freaking loves it, and my wife likes it, and we're all taking turns and having fun. I will say, since I didn't have a lot of experience with the VR, it's kind of funny, because I was playing this game where you walk through like a portal thing, and there's this massive spider like the size of a Rottweiler, and it's like crawling towards you. And I'm like, okay. And this thing jumps on your face, like over you, and you have all like 8 legs wrapped around you. And
gross, man.
Oh, dude, like I'm like trying to get this thing off of me and like pulling at it, and I like pull it again and I shoot it. And then suddenly like a bunch more start coming out of the trees, like out of the forest. And I run out of ammo, and they all just swarmed me and jumped on me and killed me. And I took the headset off, and I was like sweating.
That's a no from me, dog.
I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, and it's about 11:30 at night at this point in time. I got to go to work the next day. I'm like, okay, I got to go to bed. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play Hearthstone for a bit.
Dreaming of spiders tonight.
I'm gonna play Hearthstone for a bit. So I went on and I just played BGs, like a couple rounds of BGs or something, just because I'm like, I don't want to have to dream of the giant spider.
Dude, could you, if you could play Hearthstone on a VR, that would be so cool.
You actually can, but it's weird. Like it puts it, because I did it just for fun. You run it during like a virtual desktop, and so it puts it in front of you, and it makes it look like you have one massive curved monitor like in front of your face.
Interesting.
Wait, so you're in the tavern?
Yeah, I wish you were in there. You just see your board on a big screen. You use the controller to like point at the card, and you pick the card up, and you can put the card down with the pointer. It's kind of silly. It's stupid.
So
It's not like it's made for. It's not made for VR. It's just using your desktop to play it. It's really stupid. You might as well just look at your monitor.
Oh, it's not like 3D Yu-Gi-Oh.
No. But they should make it. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But it would be really neat. Oh man, if you could like grab the cards and put them down or something like that, or maybe a fireball, you actually throw it at their face. That'd be sweet. But so there was that. Hearthstone wise, I know ladder's kind of bumming me out. So, Martian, you were talking about how you would make a deck that you want to go to Legend with on your free to play account. So you sort of dusted everything for like that one deck sort of thing. My approach on those accounts is kind of like the opposite. Is I started trying to build a collection. So I did make a couple decks. Like I started with one, but then I tried to diversify or whatever. So I've never actually climbed on those accounts. It's been, you do your quests, so you're getting all the maximum gold and doing all the stuff. But then I log off the second I complete my daily quests. Right? There's never like a push. So I've never had a good star bonus or anything like that. But this month I decided to try to set myself up for the future. So this month I had to push past not having any bonus stars, and I may not be a triple legend player, but I am currently a triple diamond player now.
Nice.
Hey, that's good.
I moved all accounts into diamond, so it's like, okay, so next month, now I can run out of my star bonus up there, and then I can, push past that. So setting myself up for the future, because I would run out of my star bonus like in gold or whatever it was, right? Because I didn't have.
Yeah, that's rough, man. Oh, hey, one thing. Let me tell you while it's fresh in my mind. You were talking about your Oculus and Portal. If for a good time, check out on YouTube. Ben Brode was playing Portal on his Oculus, and it is hilarious. And I have never seen him swear so much in one video before.
Really?
If you look up Ben Brode Oculus or Ben Brode Portal or something like that, like,
was it Portal he was playing?
I thought so. I think
I don't know. I didn't even know they had that in VR, but
pretty sure it is. But you double check me. But it was so funny because he like the jump scares and stuff. Like he was freaking out and yelling and screaming and swearing. It was so funny. It was so funny. And so our man Brode, that's.
I have seen him playing his VR on stream a couple times, but I didn't like stick around long enough to see what he was playing.
This was a while back. Yeah, this was a while back, but it's good.
Yeah, I would like to find that because that would be fun to watch.
I'll find it later. I'll get it to you guys.
Cool, but yeah, that's generally my week. Other than that, I saw those quests, but that could be part of the news. Those surprise quests that nobody knew about.
Yeah, man, I think you got it before anybody else.
But easy week, not a big deal. Just like I said, ranked up my other accounts. Finally got my Oculus working, so it's been pretty good. I don't really have any complaints. We do have a bit of a different section coming up where Mike's been doing a little bit of housekeeping.
We got some. Yeah, we will. I'll let Mike take it, but I may tag in a little bit. But yeah, I think it'd be good for everyone to kind of get a peek under the curtain of what we've been working on, because it's been a lot of stuff. Oh, by the way, I'm looking at here. It's Half-Life. It was Half-Life.
Oh, it's Half-Life. Yes, I
Portal.
don't have Half-Life Alyx yet. I was actually want to get a little more used to the VR before I play it, because some games where you're moving around a lot can make you a little lightheaded.
Yeah, I feel
So
you.
I wanted to become a little more of a seasoned kind of VR player before I start playing a game I really would love to enjoy and experience. So I might leave it a month or two, and then I'm going to play that.
Rock and roll. All right, Mike. What have you been up to, dude?
Yeah, Mike, tell us all about all your housekeeping business, everything you've been doing.
All right, so first order of business we got. I'll kind of speed through this because I'm looking at our show notes and the time on the clock, and it says 30 minutes for news and 30 minutes for Boo. Plus our co-op. So yeah, let me speed through this.
We just like talking to you guys so much.
We do it every time.
So for our housekeeping, so first thing up, we have our first ever Born to be Wild listener series coming up starting next week. So a round of applause there. Really excited for this. We created this because of the recent history in the Wild community, the unsure nature of if things are going to get nerfed, if it's just going to be the same 3 decks. So for me, while all that's working and on the side there and, good nature, while they're doing that, we're going to have a league-based series format, lots of words in one, because you can't just use one word, Got to be careful there because the lawyers will come out. We don't want that trouble. So starting next week. Yeah, we don't want that. We got a lawyer, but we don't want more lawyers coming. So next week will be week 1. Signups are still open. Signups will close Monday at 1 p.m. What makes this tournament series different? It's going to be a Swiss format. So the way this works is from February 1st to March 28th will be about 8 weeks. So the first 5 weeks are the regular season. We'll be doing Swiss. So you'll be playing opponents that are around, your win rate. You're not going to be 2-0 going into an 0-2 person. So that's the explanation for those who are not familiar. Most of us are. Just want to cover that for those who aren't. After 5 weeks, we'll do a top 8 cut, and then that'll begin the playoffs starting March 8th that week. The way this series is going to work, each person gets one opponent per week. You and your opponent need to coordinate by Wednesday at midnight, and then you guys can settle a day and time on when you'll play each other. The winner will report the score to the Google Sheet that will be provided within the Discord. This entire listener series will be running through the Discord. We have all the Google Forms, the sheets, and everything set up. For those that are in Twitch chat right now, when I finish talking, I'll put the link in there. If you are interested, we're excited to see you if you are. Right now, we currently have 22 people, and this is without putting this information on the podcast yet. So we've just gotten 22 people through Discord and Twitter alone. And that's more than most tournaments I see on Battlefy. But that's not where I'm going. So sorry, I got distracted. So really excited for this. This tournament is going to be different because we will have weekly deck building restrictions. So what that means is, for example, you can't attack for lethal until you play Yogg Saron, whether it's the first one or the second one. I'm just putting out for an example. Do you guys here on the panel, do you get what I'm saying?
I like some challenges. I think my only caution would be, and I think we've heard some feedback from folks before, is just be careful on ones that require people to have too much of a collection. I love the idea. I think it's great, man. It really kicks it up to a different level where instead of seeing the same 3 meta decks over and over and over, we get to see some creativity. So yeah, it's exciting, man. The other thing,
I'm excited for it. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I saw you taking a sip of your Coke. Let me jump in. I just want to say one thing that I think is super cool about this also is that as opposed to an invitational format, like this is open for anybody. You sign up, that's it. Mm-hmm. And so we've got everywhere from casual players to middle of the road players like myself to like more pro players. I've seen, Martian, I think Labore's in there and some other people. And so there's just a good mix, and I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. We will post. There's no limit right now on how many people can sign up.
So I just put the status in the chat. If you guys want to click that, link is right there. And in a few minutes, I'll get the link.
We'll put it on the show notes. I'll put it on our website over the weekend. We'll put it in our Discord, and so it's open to everybody. That's the thing. We're really trying hard. If you guys are in Discord, if
you're in Discord, it's in there right now. But yeah, I'll make sure to get the exact link right in chat. I just want to say real quick. So we made sure to get that out, and then also next up, to finish up house cleaning, we have it put together. Me, Nate, and Hydra Nate's put the finishing touches on it for a listener survey incoming. There are other bodies of work out there, some companies that will suggest they might do a survey. We're telling you we're going to do it, and we're going to have it coming out to you guys pretty soon. You can give us feedback on things that you do want to see, don't want to see, a lot of different features. This is where Nate can take over a little more because he has more of a mind for what he would like on the survey. Not he, but what we want as a brand on the survey. But Nate is more of the voice on it. Do you mind speaking more?
Yeah, no, and I'll make it quick. I mean, the idea really is that we're trying to put together a show that people want to watch or people want to listen to. And so a little bit of engagement. So we've been tweaking things a little bit lately. For example, we stopped doing the parody songs at the end of the show. I know it's a little bit of a touchy subject for a couple of our diehard listeners, but I will say this was something that Craig started. We tried really hard. We did it for the better part of a year. It was 40 plus episodes. We had a parody song at the end of each episode, and it's really fun. But it's incredibly difficult when inspiration hits and we throw one together. It's hilarious and we laugh and we have fun and they're great. But trying to do one every single week is next to impossible, especially if you don't have the inspiration. And so we just stopped doing them. And if that happens and we get a great idea, hey, I'm down. Or if one of you guys want to do one, hey, we'll put it on. That's great. So that was a decision that we made. We took a couple weeks off from doing the Unrelated Advice and got a bunch of feedback. People saying like, don't stop. We like that. It was Wildcard and a couple other people. And so it kind of sparked the idea, and Wildcard initiated this so Ixar had talked about doing some, community engagement survey type idea. And the thought was, hey, we could do something similar for the show because, the goal of the show here really is to spotlight members of the WoW community, but also be community oriented. And we're really doing the show. I mean, we have a good time with it, right? But we want to be putting out a product that people want. And so getting some feedback would be interesting. Are there things that we're doing that you don't like? Are there things that we're doing that you do like? Do you want us to change anything? Or recently we started doing these listener challenges at the end of the show that exploded, which is super cool. So we'll keep doing that. But this type of thing, it's just interesting for us. It would help us to create a better product for you all watching or listening. And so
this survey will be perfect for that guy on YouTube who got really mad when I ate chicken wings at one time. This survey is for you, sir. This is for you, sir. Okay,
that's
coming up.
Yeah, whoever they were, can go and fill that survey out and say, I do not like it when Mike Lowe eats chicken wings on stream.
That's hilarious. Oh, that reminds me. So anyways, so we'll be posting it in the Discord, and maybe on Twitter as well, and leave it up for a week or so and see how many people respond. It's optional, but it helps us to get some insight of what you all are interested in from us. I will say this week, so we've been doing the show now for 45 weeks, the better part of a year. This week, we got our first email, which was crazy, right?
Nobody uses email, I guess.
Apparently not, but I was so happy about this. It was very nice. So I'm going to read it to you guys because a lot of our audience partakes via the audio podcast version. And so I'm just going to read this real quick. It says, "Hey guys, just want to let you know that I love your podcast. Thank you so much for making it. The positive vibe, the guests, the lightheartedness, the deep deck discussions, and the high technical quality of the recordings are all great. Keep it up. I got interested in WoW last year because of chasing Golden Hero portraits. Therefore, I sought a podcast on WoW. I've been listening since April 2020, and yours is the only Hearthstone podcast I still listen to. Best regards, Giroen from the Netherlands. I hope that I pronounced your name correctly. Thank you so much for the email. Like it melts our like icy cold hearts, and I'm not saying we need a flood of emails, but like it's nice to hear what people are thinking. I think a lot of times we don't know. Like we do the show because it's a blast. Like I enjoy Friday nights. I look forward to hanging out with everybody. But oftentimes, like we have no idea what everyone else is thinking. So it's super cool to hear from people. Yeah, anyways, so listener survey incoming soon, and we've been trying to clean up the Discord as well. We had a lot of channels that were duplicative, and so we're trying to kind of clean house a little bit. I think it's pretty good at this point, but
yeah. More happened this past week in Discord. I know a lot of people in the moment might have been on there and saw stuff disappear. So for some backstory, about 2 months ago, some people had messaged me, and I'll name drop one of them because it'll add some credibility to the story, being Slizzle, suggesting that cut down on some so that engagement could increase. And it's very good advice. I'm not putting his name out there to put it in a bad way, but to put credibility behind the other folks who had messaged me too. So it took a while, and then it finally happened, and then people popped up. Hey, all the pitchforks, they're coming after me.
Where to go?
Dude, I flicked Ixar for like 5 minutes. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, the survey will come out. You guys let us know what you want in there, and then we'll keep rocking. We all appreciate the activity in there. And then we got MartianBuu to join today, so the server just keeps getting better,
Yeah.
It's been good. It's been good. All right, so we got some news, right? Not a lot, but we got some. So, Hydra, what do you got?
Well, first up, we had a spotlight from Blizzard on one of their employees, longtime employee, Alex Horley. And I really enjoyed this article here in the spotlight just because a lot of time when we think of, our favorite Blizzard people, like we know the names, the Peter Whalens and the Ben Broads. And a lot of time you hear of these names, when people are leaving and you think about the people that have left and, it kind of gets sad. Well, I like this because they're focusing on somebody that works there, that's been there the whole time. Maybe you don't know this person, and it shows, we'll link the article, but it's really neat. It spotlights a lot of their art, and there's a bit of a biography. You can learn where, they got all their inspiration. One thing I thought that's really cool about this, so like looking at some of their stuff, they did like Wild Pyromancers, one for example, and the Old Gods and Voidwalker, and a lot of the art seems a little bit more of the darker side of art, more edgy type art. It's not the playful stuff. Mm-hmm. And as I was reading, like Doomsayer, for example, right? And I was reading through the article, and what I noticed was Alex got inspiration from, I don't know if anybody is familiar with the Heavy Metal magazine.
Oh, yeah, from way back when.
Yeah, Metal Hurlant, it's also known as. And so they got their inspiration from that and actually grew up to work on the magazine and do art for Heavy Metal. So when you look at now, because I've read those magazines, and I mean, if anybody here has watched the movie, it's really, really interesting.
It is not for kids.
It is not for kids. It may be a cartoon, and it does have John Candy in it, but do not let your kids watch it.
I don't know if this guy's an actual Blizzard employee. He might just be one of the artists, because I know they work with like as a contractor or something. But they said that he's been doing work for them for 15 years, and his style. It's interesting also because they said that he's a traditional artist, meaning like we're talking like paint on canvas as opposed to like digital art. And so
yeah,
this is super cool. Coincidentally, they're selling his prints of the new 4 Old Gods in the store right now. I got a couple that like 6x10 for like $30. They're pretty cool. So
nice.
Anyways, yeah, this is a pretty sweet article with links to a lot of his artwork and stuff. I recommend it. We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, if you enjoy art and that sort of thing, and like I really like looking at full art for cards and stuff like that. It's something I enjoy looking at. So if you're interested, click on the link, take a look at it. It's a good little reading about him. So we also got in news lately is the curious new little bundles that have shown up, where if you've noticed on Twitter or any other social media, not everybody's been offered the same thing.
This was so weird.
Yeah. It showed up. Some people,
you
get either 30 cards, 20 cards, or 10 cards, but you get two options. One you can get from the launcher, and one right in the client itself.
Out of curiosity, what were you guys offered?
Martian, what did you get?
I heard somebody got offered a Wild bundle.
What?
Like somebody posted that. Like somebody got offered I don't know for sure. Like I was shown the screenshot, so I don't know. But like apparently somebody got offered a Wild bundle.
Wow, I hope they bought it.
I want that. Like let me choose. But I got offered the big one.
So did I.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the big one also.
Same here.
Does that say something about how much money we spend on this game?
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
So they posted something in Reddit, the community manager. It says here, I'm just going to read the direct quote. It says, "Hi there, we're testing some new types of offers in our shop, which will cause some users to see different offers. This is intended. Be sure to check out the in-game shop and the web shop to see any offers available to you." And so on the website, I had the option to get the medium one. But in client, it was the big one, and so I thought that was really interesting and kind of weird. I guess that I don't know. That kind of feels weird. I don't know if I like it or not.
I had some viewers tell me that they're whales and they got offered not the biggest one.
Interesting.
Oh. Then it's all over the place.
It's just random? I guess it's RNG, right? It's RNG, Hearthstone. I don't know.
Oh, that's meta.
So we won't top deck lethal, but we'll top deck the 30 pack. 30.
Oh, feels bad, man. I don't know. Whatever. All right.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Next, we have Ixar did his second week in a row doing his little Ask Me Anything on Twitter. I guess it's going to be a Wednesday thing. He's now done it a couple times in a row, so it was a little more tame this time. I guess we decided to give him a week off and not bug him a little too much. So there's not a whole lot of Wild. But Nate, you did ask him a question, didn't you?
I take blame for, and I don't know if it's credit or blame for what happened last week. I asked him the question about Wild, and he responded, which then caused a gigantic poo storm. But that's, I guess, old news. That's last week's news. But this week, okay, so I didn't really have... I asked a question, and for those of you who are old-time fans of our previous show, Into the Wild, it's kind of an inside joke. So I had asked him, hey, do you eat your macaroni and cheese with a fork or a spoon? And... his answer, he goes, I don't like mac and cheese, which I thought was so funny. But so here's I'll explain it to you so that you can all be part of the club now. So here's what happened, right? Craig and I started Into the Wild. We did it for a long time. Life happened. It got crazy. I had to leave. Life happened and Craig had to leave. And so we passed the show off to Danny Donuts and Saucy Mailman. And when they took over the show, they changed up the format a little bit. And we had always asked kind of unrelated advice or different questions. And so that was their weekly question they would always ask if they had a guest on was, do you eat your mac and cheese with a fork or spoon? That was the guest question. And so I asked Ixar, and in true Ixar fashion, I don't like mac and cheese. So it was kind of funny. I followed up with a real question. I have been pushing my agenda of kind of how there's a random card back option. I've been really pushing for them to do like a random hero portrait option, because like Mage has 75 portraits now. And so the idea that I could queue my Mage deck and randomly select any of them would be awesome. And like some of the Paladin, like Shaman, some of them are poor rogue players, but a lot of the classes have quite a bit. And so I asked about that and did not get a response. But
you know what? That's a shame. I think it will happen. It's got to happen eventually.
That'd be cool. Like Evolve Shaman, You never know what minions you'll get on board. Your hero's always changing. You're different, dude. Great game.
I do want to give a big shout out to our friend Imic, who did a write-up of this. And I know there's write-ups of the AMA on a lot of different websites. We've got friends on Hearthstone. We've got friends from Out of Cards and Hearthstone Top Decks. But the thing that I really liked about his write-up is that he categorized the answers in that, hey, here's standard, here's duels, here's battlegrounds, here's other stuff. And it made trying to digest the information a lot easier. Trying to navigate through the Twitter feed is kind of awful, and some people aren't on Twitter. And so we'll link to Imic's article in the show notes. I just posted it in chat as well. And I don't know that we really need to spend a lot of time on it because frankly there was like nothing about Wild there, but it was interesting to know some of their design philosophies for different things, and it's all organized in a very easy to read fashion. So I recommend checking it out.
Martian, did you ask anything?
I asked something last week and he didn't answer me, so I just haven't been inclined to ask again. And like, I don't feel like he's ignoring me. He, like a lot of people ask questions, but it's like, I don't want to like post the same question over and over again and be annoying. So
I'm sure he gets a lot of questions. And so how he chooses which ones to answer, I don't know. Just out of curiosity, what did you ask?
So what I had asked is, would they ever consider just buffing underperforming, like the staples of underperforming archetypes in Wild? So like,
dude, I love that idea, by the way.
Yeah, I think it would be sweet. So like, my philosophy is they should never nerf anything without also buffing something, because even if something is problematic, it still feels a little bad that the card is ruined. So like having that, like when they buff things, it's always exciting to like, you're effectively getting a new card. So like, it's not just, oh, this thing is bad now. It's also, hey, this other thing is good now. And even if it doesn't change the meta, I look forward to the changes more often. But like in Wild, there are so many archetypes that just don't work anymore because all of their cards are bad. Cthulhu is like the signature one. Like all his stuff is terrible. But the example I gave was To My Side. I feel like that card could cost 4 now. Like, it costs 6, and you have to run no minions in your deck, and your opponent can just albatross you, and your deck is bad. But, like, are 2 animal companions on turn 4 really that strong for a while? So, I feel like they could buff things like that. And it would be
considering that barely anyone plays Hunter to begin with, I like it. And I think that, frankly, the solution of nerfing, like, nerf it to the ground is not an awesome solution if you take a look at like logically, okay, what's the next step? And so for example, right now, right, 3 big decks: Secret Mage, Dark Lair, and Reno Priest. And if you nerf these 3 to the ground, like there's always going to be the most hated deck or the most powerful deck. And so if you say you nerf these 3 to the ground, okay, well now Big Priest or Resurrect Priest or whatever you want to call it now is going to fill that slot of like the new most hated deck. But I think if you were to, they've thrown around the idea of like reverting old nerfs. For example, if they would revert Albatross or some of these other cards, or buff them, frankly, like you could skew the meta that way. Like, man, I'd be so happy if people play Hunter again. I'm always shocked when someone cues it. Like I see a Hunter, like, whoa, what is this? I forgot this class existed. It's great.
I think it would take a lot more than a 4 mana To My Side to make Hunter viable, but it would be cool, like just to have some things be a little bit better, so you could explore a little bit more space.
Yeah, yeah. I like your take on it.
Thank you. About your portrait idea with the random portrait. Personally, I would love that because I have a ton of portraits. But like, does the average Hearthstone player have that many portraits?
Well, I don't know, but I'll answer real quick and then I'll pass it off to you guys. But I think with my quick answer is, right, it rewards old players who've been playing for a long time since we've got them. I know someone had asked during that same AMA, like, hey, are you going to re-release the Maiev portrait for Rogue because I missed it? And he basically said no. But with his battle pass, right, it's interesting because, hey, I just got 3 shaman portraits and 3 mage portraits just in this set. And so even for the newer players, like, hey, just to be able to switch through these 3 is kind of cool. I don't know. I posted this a long time ago. I did a poll on Twitter, and it was like 95% of the people who answered said, yes, I would like that. And so I sent it off to the devs, and Cora said, hey, this is cool. I'll share it with the team. And that was a few months back. And I haven't heard anything, because of course they're not going to tell me anything, right? But maybe when, like, I don't expect any major changes with the client until maybe April, when they do the Hall of Fame rework and whatever sort of other classic set rework that they're talking about doing. And so maybe they've got some other things in store then, maybe not. I don't know, but I love the idea. How you got a big portrait collection?
I have everything that's not a level 50 battle pass portrait.
Nice. I think I do too, actually, now that I think about it. I'm missing a couple of the 1Ks. I think I'm missing 2 or 3 of those.
That was my biggest frustration, if you remember, when everyone was all up in arms about the new battle pass when it first came out. Like, everyone was talking about how expensive and whatever the game had become, and that they were getting less in-game gold, and I empathize for sure. But for me, it was like, I have a complete collection, and now you're telling me I can't ever have a complete collection? Like,
dude, I was mad about that too. The idea that I hit level 50 and there's 10 portraits and I can only choose one. I was like, what do you mean I can only choose one? I can't get the other 9? And I asked Celestalon on Twitter about that, and he said, I'm going to paraphrase here because it's old, but I could dig it up if anyone really wants to see it. But he essentially said, oh, no, you can get the other ones. Like, you can choose one every expansion. And I was like, 3
years.
Yeah, you said it's like that from that movie with the math in front of the eyes and all that. Like, sitting here doing the math, like, okay, so every 4 months I can get one new one times, and so it's going to take me 3+ years to get all of them. 3 and I don't know.
You're forgetting about the loophole, Nate. You got to play on all 3 servers, then you can get them all in 1 year. In a bit.
Yeah, except not on the same. Dude, I tell you what, if I could take my collection, I would play on EU or Asia if I could use my same collection. Having to buy them in new places, no, that's a hard pass for me.
Yeah, no, I'm. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna pick a different one, like
oh yeah,
on each one, so I can say I have them all, but they're not on the same account.
Hey, Martian, which one did you pick for your level 50? I assume you're well past that by now.
I chose Valeera because it was mostly about options. I wouldn't have picked Valeera if I didn't like it. There were a few that I really liked, but like the tier 3 Jaina on the battle pass, I think is amazing. So like even though I did like the level 50 Jaina, I was never going to pick that because I had like the best mage portrait in my mind.
Yeah, same.
I have a ton of warlock ones that I like. So like there are a ton of them that just like weren't considerations just because I already have a bunch of portraits for those. But Valeera looks sick, and my options are Valeera or Maiev.
Yeah. No, I feel you there. So yeah, no, I felt it as well as a collector. That hurt. Like, it still hurts. I don't like, and I'm sad. I'm just gonna go cry. Good night, guys.
And like, speaking of Maiev, like that person that missed out on Maiev and they can't have it. Like, coming from somebody who has a complete collection, the joy I get from having something exclusive is not nearly equivalent to the devastation of never being able to have something. Yeah. So I think like they should at least periodically bring them back. They don't have to be always available, but if you really love a cosmetic and you cannot have it, there's nothing you can do to get it. It feels horrible. So like, I just don't relate to that. I think that every once in a while they should just bring them back.
I don't have. Is it Liadrin that you have to get level 20 on WoW?
Yeah.
So I thought that Classic WoW was going to work for that, and it didn't. You have to just do regular WoW.
I will say that I got mine that way. You can do it free to play. At least I did. I got the you can get a free 1 month trial, and I downloaded it, and I just jammed enough games to, or enough time or enough rank or whatever it was to get it, and then stop playing. And I did it on a crappy old laptop at the time, and so it was a rough month, but it was worth it. And same thing with Heroes of the Storm. Like, I was playing on a crappy old computer and like trying to grind out to level 15 or whatever it was to get that card back. It's like, oh, this is painful, but I'm going to do it. So it's rough.
At least the Overwatch one came with just having the game, right?
Yeah. In fact, I bought mine on eBay for $5.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I think WoW is always free until level 20 now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't have the motivation to do it because I did it on Classic WoW thinking I was going to get it.
Oh, it's going to take you a fraction of the time.
Oh yeah,
like,
oh I guess yeah, it's not the same.
You'll be
I've
amazed.
never played WoW beyond that experience. I only played original WoW and Burning Crusade. So and now Classic. So I don't know what it turned into.
Level 20 is like an afternoon now.
All right. I guess maybe I'll have to do that.
Yeah. Mike, what is your take on all these portraits?
Sorry, I was getting prepared for this next part.
It's all good. It's all good, man.
I think it's cool that you guys you have all the portraits. There was a point in time where like I was steadily collecting all the portraits, but then this is a while ago. This is like when Hearthstone was still like new and shiny, and like they released what it seemed like it was going to be one for every class, but it was like Illyria, and they did Magni, and who's the mage guy?
Khadgar, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Medivh. It was Medivh.
I'm sorry. Medivh, like $10. Then he was gone, and they did Illyria, then the warrior one, and then for a while I was just like, dang, I'll never get those heroes because I was being stubborn. I was like, I'm not going to spend money on cosmetics. Fortnite kids do that. And then after a while, I got golden everything, all the heroes. And then I was like, all right, I want alternate portraits. So then I did the one. Was it Tyrande? You have to play WoW, and then
dude, Tyrande was. I remember when it first came out, you had to hook up your Amazon Prime to your Twitch, and like.
Oh, was that what it was? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh man, and some of the card backs. Oh man, they had some scams over the years where you really had to buy some stuff or hook up different accounts and all that.
What's the hero you have to play World of Warcraft? What hero was that? Oh,
Liadrin.
Sorry, not the other one. Tyrande. No, Tyrande. That was a scam because then like there's other ones. The card backs you had to like sign in from a PC and then an iPhone and then like a tablet.
The Galaxy one.
The space station, like what the hell, dude? I don't know.
Like the Samsung Galaxy phones.
That's crazy. But yeah, I picked the level 51. I wanted the rogue one for a while. The flavor of the show, you know, I always talk about the rogue skins. But the closer I got, I kind of chickened out, and I was like, I don't want to be stuck with that one. I want the warrior one. So
hey, you get what you want, man. I don't know. I struggle with it too because like I love the art of the demon hunter one. I just hate playing that class. So I got the warlock, but I like the N'Zoth portrait, so and like the Nemzi one has the best BM, so you know it's that's why I'm such a proponent of the random hero that I could play with all of them would make it worth it for me.
No, definitely.
Anyways, hey, so we got a patch this week.
Hey. Yeah, well, we needed it. The combo did not last long, the OTK with Tiller. So it officially is nerfed, but it wasn't Tiller that got the hit, though. The new card, Hysteria, got the nerf. And it now reads, instead of choose a minion, it attacks random minions until it dies. It's choose an enemy minion, and it attacks until it dies. So they didn't do traditionally what you see is they end up ruining an old card or whatever. That's what a lot of people kind of wanted, but they decided to go with the new card getting the nerf. What do you guys think about this?
I think that they made the only wrong choice they could have made. So for me, I think Death Speaker. You go after Death Speaker because Death Speaker
Such an easy choice, right?
Yeah,
oh man,
it has enabled infinite damage before. It's going to again. It is the most future proofing in my mind. Like we've seen it do the Knife Juggler, Grim Patron, Defile stuff, which is like a janky combo that's not problematic. But this is now the second time that it's enabled infinite damage. Hysteria isn't the issue, and like I think that like having to use your own minion to clear off the enemy board is a cool idea, and I think that like using it on something that gets an attack trigger that's not going to that doesn't have immune is a cool idea, like to make it attack more than once in a turn,
especially if it has lifesteal.
Yeah, like it's just like there's so many cool things you could have done with this card, and they like I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I want to jump on this. Yeah, they said they're future proofing. I want to jump on this as well though, because the idea of using any minion, like especially considering this card is a combo priest and warlock that have a lot of death rattle synergy, like I could slot this in Reno Lock and play it on my Void Caller, you know, or one of these, and like, hey, just to trigger, like I could be using it for different like multi-purpose reasons. Maybe I'm using it just to trigger my death rattle, or maybe I play it on a Sylvanas or something like. Not that anyone plays Sylvanas anymore, but you know what I mean? Like it gave you a lot of fun potential. And so now having to use it on an enemy minion, like it takes a lot of the fun things away. And the theory that Blizzard says is, hey, we're doing this because it limits design space or design potential. The Death Speaker, for those of you guys who aren't familiar, it gives a minion immune for this turn. Like that's what creates broken combos. And so this whole thing could go away by that, and it's an old card, so it doesn't mess up standard at all, and nobody plays it in Wild anyways, except doing these wombo combos every once in a while. Like I think Yada is the only one that plays it, and it's just to try to break the game periodically. And so it was. I'm a little bit frustrated with it as well. I've seen a lot of other people in Twitter, particularly, which seems to be where the Hearthstone folks hang out, expressing their displeasure with this as well. So somebody reached out to Alec on the design team, previously of the Golden Wisp podcast, now part of Hearthstone, asking him, he does periodically a developer insight tweet saying, hey, this is why we chose to do whatever we chose to do. And so they asked him specifically, let me pull it up here. This was somebody by the name of Z-Flow asked him, he says, hey, GW Alec, could you do designer insights again this time? I'm curious why the patch was Hysteria, not Tiller. Again, I don't think that Tiller is necessarily the problem. It's the other one. But so Alex says, and I'm just going to read this verbatim so that the audio folks can just hear it. He said, we believe it to be the best future-proof change. We're going to keep making on-attack triggers, and any plan where you can purposefully skip your opponent's turn isn't something we want around. Hurts to lose some of the more interesting decisions with Hysteria, but felt it was right. And my personal thought, and again, we can jump around to everybody, but I agree with Martian's point of view on this, is that I don't know what they have planned in the future, right? But it's really sad to lose these cool interactions of Hysteria when you could nerf some crappy old card that nobody plays. And I don't even know that I'm going to play it anymore. I mean, I could use it, I guess, as some funky removal, but it's a lot less consistent now. So I don't know. I think this was still the wrong call. I like the idea. Death Speaker, that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The argument to save Death Speaker is that it's a strong arena card. So whenever it's an arena, it's a good card there.
What's arena?
But the fix there is just like, immune during its first attack or something like that. It is immune from the first damage.
That's too easy.
It's too easy.
That's too easy.
I don't know.
Yeah. For fun, because I do agree with you guys, I'll do a single case scenario of devil's advocate. So I was playing against a priest who, if we were to keep Hysteria the way it was, still could have pulled the combo off extremely early. So I was playing against a priest. I was a pirate warrior with a god draw where I was on coin and I got Nazos first mate and the parachute brigade guy in your hand. So it's the whole coin out your cannon, play Nazoth, and then suddenly Patches and a 2/2 all come out and you fire all the cannon shots and it's awesome. Well, then I'm smacking the priest in the face and they try to pull the combo where they're going to play pint-sized potion to give all my guys -3 attack because I've got a very low-to-the-ground board. And then they played Hysteria on their tiller to go and attack everything and would have killed me except for the fact that I sort of saw this coming, so I decided to drop my Frothing Berserker before they were going to do it. So as soon as their tiller started attacking all my guys, yes, suddenly it's 2 damage to my face, 2 damage to my face over and over again. But it was buffing my Frothing Berserker, which was on board, which eventually, after a few hits, now had a positive attack instead of 0 and killed the darn tiller because it did not have immune. Yeah, all they did was play. So you could still do it very, very early if you're priest and you're running pint-sized against aggro. In that case scenario, it works.
That's an interesting tech choice.
If your opponent has 15 health on board and if none of their attack is 4 or more, and if your board is empty...
Oh, it's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, so I think that's fine.
It's a lot of ifs, but it would have worked. It totally would have worked. And I was like, this guy's up to something. And so it was like, I had a couple choices. I think I had, I can't remember what my choices were that turn, but I dropped the Berserker. Even I think I could have buffed my pirates with the captain, give them all +1 or +1/+1 or something like that. But instead, I chose to play the Berserker, like out of just because. Like, I figured something bad was going to happen, and if they're going to try the combo, this is going to help me. And they did, and it worked. So
that was pretty 5 ahead of you.
It was, and it worked, and it was an instant concede as soon as it attacked the Frothing Berserker. It was really funny.
That's great.
It didn't go for it right away, which was funny. It was hitting everything else. Either way, it would have buffed it, but I was like super proud of myself looking around. Too bad I wasn't streaming that.
Too bad.
Nobody saw. I see the replay.
You got to share the replay. I'd like to see.
Oh yeah, I will. I'll put that in the Discord.
So you can still do the combo now with treachery, except you kill yourself. So.
Oh, that's how that would work.
you just kill yourself instead of your opponent now.
Cool. Oh, new challenge.
It's too easy. No.
Yeah, that'll be done right away before the show's over.
Oh my god. Yes. Yeah, we'll get back to that. Hey, so I think there was one other little bit of news. I know there were a couple of things unrelated to like leaderboards and stuff, but I think it was Arena and nobody plays that. So let me bring up the one thing that you, Hydra, noticed late last night. We were chatting, and we had I think you were on your Asia account and you got a daily quest. You're like, do you have this? And I was like, no, I do not have this. Fill us in.
Yeah, so I was on Asia last night and I was just playing around and I logged in and I had a new special quest that I had no idea was coming, and it said Happy New Year. And I'm like, did this show up because of Chinese New Year, or did this show up because, like, I do all my daily quests, so I was kind of confused. Like, this can't be old. I don't really know what's going on, so I decided to ask the internet. But the very first quest was play 5 duels, and you had to do that 5 times, and you get 3 card packs. So sweet, did that, and then a new one popped up instantly. And the first one was play 1 game of Battlegrounds, and then as soon as that was over, play 5 duels popped up, and did that right away. And then it was play 5 games of Standard Ranked, and all of these quests give you 3 packs each. of, I believe it's 2 Dark Moon Fair packs and 1 Scholomance Academy pack.
Gotcha. It seems like I think we all have it now, right? It just came to NA later.
Yeah, maybe like just time zone wise, that's how it works. Nobody else was answering, but then later on, like, because I checked EU when I thought it should have shown up, but I still didn't see it. I'm actually going to check it right now to see if it's there. But it was super easy to bust them out, and then it made me play duels, and I had a really good time playing duels. I never clicked the mode very often, but when the game makes me do it, I always have fun.
I don't have it on mine. Look here.
I don't have it on EU either. I just looked. It's not there. I got it. Maybe, I mean, China is in Asia. If it's going to be a Chinese New Year thing, maybe it was exclusive to Asia.
I heard some people are getting it on NA, so I wonder. I don't
have
know.
it on NA.
Oh,
You have it on NA.
How do you get it? That's not fair.
Yeah, it's super confusing. I only got it on Asia.
The funniest
And it's
part of
gone.
this, right, is that Chinese New Year is in 2 weeks. It's on February 15th is when it starts. So I don't understand what this is, either really late New Year or really early New Year. I mean, I'll take free packs.
Maybe it just came to like because I see people in chat saying I got it on NA, I got it on EU. Maybe it shows up to the first whichever server you log into first that day. I don't know.
Okay, my last name is Wolf. Like all through my entire school career, I was always last in everything. So I'm just expecting to get this in like 3 or 4 days. After all, y'all get it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It is what it. Hey, free packs. I'm not going to say no to that.
I have it on
Mike,
NA now
what?
too.
Mike has got it. All right.
Yeah, I got it on NA now too. I just logged in on NA and I have it. So I've got it on NA and Asia, but not EU.
I don't have it on EU.
There's some mad science going on here. The funny thing is, like, they didn't do any sort of announcement in terms of letting people know, hey, this is coming. We're all slowly starting to see this. Like, did you get it? Did you get it? No. I remember a while back when people were starting to get like random golden legendary cards popping up, and I was like, I never got one of those either.
I got one.
For real?
Nice.
I wish I did.
What do you know why?
I have so my energy. I want to explain 2 energies. One, I feel like on their side, not to say his name, but he's just a leader. I feel like XR is like so sick of people's energy. He's like, you know what? Forget these kids. We're gonna release stuff, and when they see it, they see it. So flip the coin. For me, when I open my client or whatever, and I just see bam, like a golden legendary. Cool. Me say nothing.
You don't say anything, they'll take it away.
That's
why
why they don't tempt fate. I feel
That's why I did the quests right away. As soon as I saw them, I cleared them. Like, and it was play BGs, play 5 duels, play 5 standard. And this is on EU where I don't have a single standard deck at all because I only craft, or no, Asia, sorry, I only craft like wild cards. So,
Yeah.
but luckily, I guess just from opening packs for the recent expansions, I had 27 out of 30 of the recent pre-built Demon Hunter. So I just played that and picked 3. I put a Boulder Fist Ogre and a Chillwind Yeti in it or something. I don't know.
Dude, it's like 11 p.m. It's like I gotta do this real quick before they change their mind and take it away. Play 5 games of duels, 5 games of battlegrounds, and 5 games of standard all before you go to bed just to get the packs.
Oh yeah, jam it out.
What you say, Martian?
See, like, is that always the spot where the legendary quests show up? Because, like, NA is my account that had room for another quest.
Mm-hmm.
So could it be that if this was an accident, that it just didn't show up if you had a full quest log?
Maybe. Although I've got 1 space on mine right now, I think, and it didn't show up. Maybe I got to clear up my quests. I don't know. It's a sign. They're mad at me for taking a couple days off.
Oh,
Yeah, it's odd because it showed up on the very far left, which I thought was weird because the very far right slots are always empty. And so I always thought, like, as soon as this was a thing, this screen that we have, they would just plop them into the far right slot, but it came up on the left, like they have been.
On the right?
Sorry?
Are they usually on the right? I just don't remember.
I think they're usually on the left. I just assumed they were going to be on the right because the far right slot's the empty one all the time. But I think it shoves everything over.
Is it a daily or a weekly?
It's a daily.
Huh. Interesting. You know what? My left one is full and my right one is open. So maybe I need to complete the left one.
Hey, question. What do you guys have to do to complete your quest?
It was play 5 standard ranked games, play 5 duels, and 1 Battlegrounds game.
I'm on Battlegrounds right now.
Wait.
Jamming that one out.
Oh, does it show it one at a time?
Yeah, one quest at a time. So it starts off with the Battlegrounds, and then that'll disappear, and then play 5 duels, and then that'll disappear, and then play 5 ranked, and that'll go away.
So
that was the last.
Play 1 Battleground, get 3 packs?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Now listen, here's the thing. Here's my kind of hot take on this. I kind of like when they do this. Is surprise free packs. It reminds me of when these new set was coming out. They always do these. The streamers get to play it for a couple days first, and the last couple times, like everybody gets mad because it's like, I mean, the argument, and I disagree with this, but I still don't like it. But the idea is, hey, the meta gets more solved when you get a bunch of famous people to play these cards before anyone else gets to see them, and now everyone's going to already know what to try on day one. And so I kind of liked it when Dark Moon Races dropped. Like, they didn't do a stream reveal or anything like that. It was just a here you go, now they're out. And so everyone had to experiment what's good, what's not, and so that's kind of fun. And so the same with this is like, that's kind of cool that they didn't tell us you just open it up and you have some free packs. Like, dude, that's awesome.
Oh, I encourage them to do stuff like this. We're being all shocked that, oh, there was no notice. I didn't know this was coming. If I open my Hearthstone client and there's something free in there, just random,
dude, I am not complaining.
Yeah, bring it on.
Yo, this is the way to do it, because like you'll have people, let's say it's a downtime, and then they just randomly drop something out of nowhere. Now you got people who are always in the mix, tweeting, talking about it, and then those circles start going out, and then start pulling people like me who aren't even online or whatever. And then someone posted in some different Discord, and I was like, wait, a lunar what? And then I saw somebody talking about it, and that's when I came online. I was like, what the heck? So when they do random stuff, I'm all for it. I think they should. I don't know when they changed the approach, but it's smart, because why are you attached or tied to people who aren't working there? Like, do what you're going to do, drop it, let us see it, and when we see it, you work on your next thing. Like, that's how it should be going.
And I would imagine if this is for the Chinese New Year, that since that's not for a couple weeks now, that I guess it'll probably be around for a bit. Maybe that's why they just dropped it early.
Maybe.
For some people, apparently. Because you said you still don't have it?
I do not, but I guess we'll see.
I don't have it on all servers, so it feels like it must have been an accident. I imagine they meant to have it come out later.
Hey man, as long as they don't take them back, Hydra, if you start noticing cards missing from your collection, let us know.
Have they ever done that? I don't think they've ever had us open stuff. And
I don't think that's such just bad PR. Like, you gotta just at that point, you gotta just let people have it.
Yeah, there was the one where some epics some commons no one was playing turned into epics in your collection, so you could disenchant them.
Oh, you could dust them. I remember that.
Yeah, you could dust them and get extra dust because they were supposed to be commons, but they turned epic. So it's like, hey, get your dust. If you got goldens, do it.
You got to be careful when you do that stuff, because I think when there's a fine line, right? When people know of an exploit and they purposefully exploit, and then you get your account banned, that really sucks.
It would suck. I didn't really think about that, but yes, I did exploit that one. Like, come on, you gave me epics. I wanted the dust, but what was funny was it was a druid card, I believe, and then I needed to recraft it to play a druid deck anyway, so I netted nothing.
Wait, so like, not every player is gonna know.
It's like Living Roots, I think, is what
it's
happened.
supposed to be. So I feel like it would be weird to punish somebody for that exploit. I feel like they should just accept it if they've
Let it go.
accidentally
Yeah.
something.
OMG game 69 is confirming, it's Living Roots.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Anyways, all right. Well, that's about it for the news. If you guys get it, let us know. If we figure out more, they'll probably release something next week. I'm excited for those Chinese New Year portraits, dude. They look really good.
Oh yeah,
they look really good. We can start playing some some Jade Paladin.
That priest one looks so like smug, and I don't know. I love it. It's gonna be my new all priest all the time.
I love it.
Yeah.
Priest always looks so smug.
If that dragon's in the portrait, this will be the first portrait that I actually want. I'll go for it. Like, that'd be cool. But I think it just might be in the art. So I'm not getting attached to it until I actually see it. Because I'm the kind of person where I'm emotional. I'll get extra salty. So I'll own it. It's cool.
It will look a lot cooler if the dragon's in it.
Yeah. See, you agree.
Yeah. No. I agree. The dragon's dope.
You're right to be wary because it feels like a little far off. Like,
Yeah. It looks so cool. It's like they're going to mess it up. So I'm just staying far away. Yeah.
Maybe the hero power animation will be different. Kind of like when you're in Noyo and you make a little 1/1 dude, it kind of like plurps it out with some confetti or whatever. Maybe you'll have a cool dragon make your dagger.
Speaking of hero portraits, have you guys played with that new? Well, it's not new, but like, have you guys played with Spooky Uther recently with his new voice lines?
Oh, I haven't heard them. Are they good?
He rhymes now, like the Headless Horseman, and wow, I love it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Huh.
You slayed, well played.
Hear this later.
Oh, that's
awesome.
great. That's great. All right, I got to go try those out now. Nice.
Tell us when you get back.
Right. Hey, so let's talk about this deck of the week because we got a little carried away. So Martian brought an Odd Rogue deck. I'm just gonna put it up on the screen here. I'm excited to play this because I don't play that much Odd Rogue, and this looks really fun. I'm currently at 942 wins with Rogue, and so I need something to play to get some more wins. So for those people,
I'm excited.
yeah, it looks good. For those people who are watching either on YouTube or live on Twitch, the deck list is on the screen. We'll post the code in the chat. But for those people who are listening to the audio version, I'll go through and read off the deck list, and then we will put the code in the show notes as well. So real quickly here, there are 2 copies of Buccaneer, 2 copies of Deadly Poison, 2 copies of Nitro Boost Poison, which is probably my favorite card from this new set. Patches the Pirate, 2 copies of Prize Plunderer, 2 copies of Secret Passage, 2 copies of Sinister Strike, 2 copies of South Sea Deckhand, 2 copies of Spy Mistress, 2 copies of Tour Guide, 2 Argent Horse Riders, 2 Volpera Toxin Blades, 2 Wolf Riders. Oh my god, that's rad. 2 Cutting Class, Leroy Jenkins, Lotheb, and Baku Moon Eater. Dude,
Looks
this is
awesome.
almost like the Kingsbane package with some of the Odd Rogue stuff and a bunch of charge, which
cool.
this is pretty great.
Yeah, I never thought I would see no Henge Clan Thug, but
So
like
that's
it.
actually, you guys can blame Absolute for that. I don't know if you guys know Absolute.
Yeah, we do.
yeah,
He was pointing out that
absolutely seems to be in chat.
oh yeah, he was pointing out that like Thug just isn't good. It doesn't cut it anymore. Like the broom just kind of negates its relevance. So everyone was putting in Argent Horse Rider now because it's good with Nitro Boost Poison. It upgrades Nitro Boost Poison and gives you a way to immediately deal damage with that charge. And the deck needs multiple things to upgrade the Nitro Boost Poison. Henge Clan is too slow now, probably. So the deck likes charge. Why not run Wolf Rider? So like I cut like the value minions. I'm not running any techs like Glacial Shard or anything in this list. It's like Sinister Strike, Wolf Rider, pointed at the face, and I've had surprising success with it. I've played like 100 games in Legend with it, and I'm like 60% right now.
Nice.
You know, cool. I like the Sinister Strike. I played a lot of Odd Rogue right before Galakrond's Awakening. So like it was really good. I actually got to my legend boss like 7 times and just kept falling back. Like I was playing so much Odd Rogue. Like Slizzle he's my cheerleader. He's like, keep going. I love Odd Rogue. You know, Slizzle. So this deck is sweet. I love that Sinister Strike because I did a tech. It was a goofy one. It was like a 6 mana, 7 mana minion where it's like +2 spell damage. And like they would always leave it on the board. They'd never kill it. So I get to attack with it, plus use the Sinister Strike with the damage, and it would just kill everybody. And it was just awesome. But it would never win the boss battle, so it wasn't that great. But I love seeing this deck. I can't wait to watch later.
Nice. What's nice about the Sinister Strike and like all the charging in this is how much draw Rogue has now. So like if you Secret Passage and you Cutting Class when you're looking for that last little bit of extra damage for lethal, you always find it. Because like every card in your deck is lethal.
Yeah, that makes sense because there's so many times I've Secret Passage looking like I want in other rogue decks to just find my lethal, right? Like you're looking to be able to, prep into just hitting them in the face with anything you got, right? So no, I like it. And I like also that it's not traditional. Like you said, the Hench Clan Thug is cut. I don't see
I love that.
A Vile Spine Slayer. That's
slow.
It's slow, but I mean, I love Vile Spine Slayer. Like seeing that not there makes me a little sad. But this is a different game plan. That Vile Spine's a little more board control and mid-rangey, right? This seems to be get 'em.
Yeah, this is definitely a Rogue has a lot of damage and a lot of draw now, so let's point everything at the face type of list. You can I'm not like trying to claim that this is the best way to play Odd Rogue. It's an effective way to play Odd Rogue. I've experienced it.
Look at this.
But you could run Thug still, or you could run Evil Miscreant, you could run Wand Thieves, you can run Jandis. It's just a different
real quick. I like the Wolf Rider. I like the Sinister Strike. For me, where I'm at, we're not running the Thug or the Slayer based on what's available now. You had pointed out Broomstick, but we also have Nitro Boost. So with the cards you have, everything goes face. Those other cards, you got to play Thug. It's got to sit. And I don't see Broomstick in here. So you got to play Thug. It sits. And then with Slayer, it's a 5-mana card. And like those 2 cards, you'll have 2 copies, right? So it's 4 cards. And then look at the other cards you could have. So you don't have healing and taunt in Rogue anyway. So I like what you're doing. All in on the idea of I'm trying to get like 20 games in 15 minutes. Like this is awesome.
Have you run into big taunt issues?
So the idea is to kill them before that matters. And that's kind of where the Sinister Strikes come in. You can get them low enough, and then if they're Big Priest or if they're like Void Caller, Warlock type stuff, and they do get their taunt down, hopefully you can Secret Passage or Cutting Class and find your last little bit of damage through Sinister Strike. But you do a lot of damage really quickly.
But before Nate jumps in, MartianBuu, as a top tier player, I want your opinion on this. Do you think so there are a lot of sites, a lot of Discords. Everyone's got deck lists, deck.com, whatever. Do you think at some point we got to start moving towards the idea of like having like these categories, like deck categories? Like, for example, this deck is straight face. Like the question Hydra just asked, you said you want to win before you even see taunts. Like, should we start having sites where they categorize what type of game plan it is and then decks within it? Because a lot of times what bugs me as a viewer, watching other big streamers, people will come in, and you handle it beautifully, by the way, but like people come in and they'll critique and they'll I almost swore. they'll poo-poo this idea or this deck that the streamer is playing instead of like asking about the deck and like why the deck is made and how it plays they just come in with like these decks that they play or these cookie cutters, and they want you to change to that. Like, do you think we should move towards deck categories and like explaining decks that way?
Yeah, I think that like okay, so there's different sites. There's one that have like more in-depth analysis of why the deck is the way it is, and there's there's sites that are just kind of like this streamer is playing this deck.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on the source.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that like
something I want, maybe.
What's that?
Yeah, I could be describing something I want because like I like your deck here because like I see a lot of decks you make and other people make, and it's like people will come at you and it's like, no, you don't get like the point of the deck. Like it does this purpose, not that, and they're just not used to like people like you who think differently. So this is more props to you. I like your idea here.
I like that take. I like that take a lot because I think. I mean, I ask this question all the time. It's like, hey, is there something that I need to know when I'm looking at this deck list that isn't obvious to me? And, you know, this one particularly by the name, but like, oh, I'm going face with this. But sometimes in the more like mid-rangey or combo decks, like you'll look at this and if you're not familiar with all of the interactions, you're like, why are you playing that awful card? And you're like, no, it's in there for a specific reason. And I think it can be, I mean, dude, I stream like once or twice a month, maybe, and I don't like it when people backseat drive. But if you're doing it on like a daily basis, and you get people coming in there and being like, "Why'd you put that card in your deck?" You're like, because you know, and typically there's a pretty good reason, and it could be because I don't have, you know, XYZ card and I'm subbing this one in. But I think more often than not, it's like, no, this is my game plan. So I think that's a good take, and a lot of the classes, like Mike is saying, if I'm playing Rogue, maybe I'm playing Kingsbane, maybe I'm playing Odd, but maybe I'm playing like something more fringe, like Big Rogue or Secret Rogue or Stealth Rogue or something, you know, something like that. And so when people question your choices, it's like, no, this is my game plan over here.
Well, at the same time, when it's turn 5 or whatever turn you're on for a traditional card that's going to be in the deck, like when they're expecting your Vile Spine Slayer, they're expecting your Hench Clan Thug, you're doing something different. Like when they're like, haha, here's my taunt, it has lifesteal, and you're like, haha, I have reach, right? Like I could get you.
Yeah.
Over top. They didn't expect that because they weren't used to, say, Sinister Strike being in the deck.
That's one of the most fun things for me over the past couple weeks in playing like viewer request decks was that like you queue up against an opponent and you're playing cards that they don't expect, and so people right off the bat will mulligan incorrectly, and they don't know, like if I'm playing versus a Secret Mage or a Reno Priest or whatever, like number one, I think any of us could probably identify typically what your opponent is playing within the first couple turns, assuming they play cards. Right, but we've been playing long enough that, you know, I can identify, oh, this is what I'm playing against. And so I know what my game plan is, and against Secret Mage or Reno Priest or whatever, like, okay, this is the plan. But when I see like you know, weird cards come down, I see a Wolf Rider come down in this Odd Rogue, I'm like, wait a minute, something's
They double check what rank they're at.
And I also think there's something, I heard Blister Guy talk on this a long time ago. I know Hydra, you're a big fan, and the concept of respecting your opponent, I think, is interesting. So I'm seeing people in chat right now saying, like Ben from work, right, really good player, saying a while back he played Reno Rogue and everyone was like emoting him. And then I've got Schmoopy Daddy, also day one legend player, saying big even shaman, right? And it's arguable whether or not these decks are good, but like, I don't know, man. Everybody's got an opinion, and like sometimes nobody wants to hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Apparently, Otter's running a big Dragon Rogue. I want to see that.
Dude, he farmed me with that today. I beat him sometimes, but he's running a Nosdormu in it. So like, I was playing Reno Lock, right? And I have this giant hand with a bunch of different ways to answer. And so he'll like pull off his combo, and then Nozdormu comes down, and I don't have any time to think about like how I'm going to answer all these dragons. I lost at least one game just because of the Nozdormu.
That's funny. I saw him post it earlier today, and he said it was dust bait, but it looked awfully fun.
It's fun for sure.
Nice
to play. I imagine.
Speaking of fun, this Smork deck, I was so excited. Like,
yeah. So
the idea of, like, the secret passage, and you find more damage, and then like sinister strike, and just oh my god, this looks crazy, dude.
Yeah. So what is your take on Nitro Boost Poison? Is it like it reminds me of unnerfed Cold Blood.
It's really strong. I think it's a little harder to activate than combo. It's going to be situational, right? Like if it's in your hand in the beginning of the game, just like as you curve out, it'll be automatically upgraded. But like it's harder to upgrade off of like a secret passage or something like that than like getting benefit out of unnerved Cold Blood would be, just because you've played secret passage, so now your combo works. I
also get like more than half of your deck is a 1-drop as well, so it's a little hard to corrupt when your deck is all 1-drop.
Well, yeah, like that's odd, you know. That's the thing with the Wolf Rider is like Argent Horse Rider good, Volpera good. What else? You know, like you can't corrupt Nitro Boost Poison with just 2 copies of 2 3-drops in your deck, so you have to run something else. And if you're going to run the deck this way, like if there's another 3-drop that fits this game plan more than Wolf Rider does, I don't know about it. I'd love to hear it.
I mean, Wolf Rider goes face right away with the buff from the Nitro Boost, so
yeah. This is interesting, and I want to make a comparison. So our homie Labore Sangre lately has been playing Scimitar Rogue. I don't know what else to call it, and I think a lot of rogues kind of I don't know, like the bulk of the deck is pretty solidified now, where as long as because I've got easy access to weapons, whether it's Kingsbane or Odd or Scimitar or whatever, like I can run the pirate package successfully. I can run the deadly poisons and the nitro boost, and secret passage is just such a good card even after the nerf. That like it's pretty consistent, and so I don't know. This is just Rogue doing Rogue things. I love it. This looks like a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it. How many games have you played with it? You said like 100?
Played like 100. I could pull up my stats right now.
Ooh. Lotheb. So
I'm 63 and 46 with this deck.
Nice. Okay. As a funny side note, years ago when I was doing Into the Wild, we always used to ask people, "Hey, what is your favorite Hearthstone card of all time?" And like 75+% of the people all said Lotheb. So old favorite. Old favorite.
That's my
of mine.
favorite card.
It's probably my favorite, like just straight up disruption card of the game. Like if you had asked me, like what. So Lotheb is from Naxxramas, right? One of the first expansion or the first adventures that it's still seeing play. What, 5 years later or whatever? Yeah, that's awesome.
That's actually, you reminded me. Remember, I said I had to do duels for one of the quests that we just had. The Happy New Year quest. You had to do 5 duels. Well, I didn't have a lot of cards that fit a good duels deck, and so I picked Mage, and I was short 1 card from like a pre-built one that I found on HS Top Decks or something. I'm like, oh, I need 1 more card. Lotheb.
Yep.
I had Lotheb in my collection. Let's do it. Lotheb in there. Straight up.
So like I hated the when they announced that they were going to do Standard and Wild, I was very disappointed. Like I like to play with all the cards. The one silver lining of that for me was, all right, at least I don't have to deal with Lotheb anymore. So, like fast forward a few years down the line, and like playing Reno Shutterwalk in Wild back when Serenite Chain Gang still did what it did. That completely changed it for me. I love playing Lotheb now. It is easily my favorite card, and my second favorite card is Shutterwalk because it allows me to play more Lothebs.
That reminds me, I was playing casual to try to complete a couple of quests late last night, and I went up against Reno. No, it was not Reno. I'm sorry. It was just a straight up Shutterwalk shaman with duplicates, and people are running the new card from Darkmoon Races, the 1 mana. Was it like a 1/4 that gives you armor, or 1/3 that gives you 4 armor? Dude, my opponent, and this is with both of us getting armor. I was playing some warrior deck, and like, dude, my opponent got up at one point. Like, I was to the point where, like, all right, clearly we're completing daily quests here, but like, I'm gonna let my opponent do this thing. Like, I want to let him have it. Let's see what this combo is. And this dude got up to like 300 armor with this like infinite Shutterwalks. It was insane.
Hostage Shutterwalk.
Yeah.
Just like on Reddit.
I've got. I was disappointed because I was trying to play out the full game and get them to play all the cards so that I could copy the deck list, and it was shy a little bit. Like, because if for those of you who don't know, HS Replay will give you the code for your opponent's deck if it knows what all the cards are, and so you really have to like play out the game. But I was short a couple cards, but it looks so fun that I kind of want to try it. I don't know. I mean, I'm 10 star for life, right? But it's so tempting to just not play the first week, let all the tryhards like get into Legend. I usually will try to grind out Legend week 1. Wait until like week 2 and take like Shutterwalk Shaman to Legend or something like that. It would be so rewarding. I'd probably break my computer out of frustration, but
the only problem with that, I think, well, I guess if everyone's in Legend, they'll be versing Legend, but don't you still go against, you would still be going against people that had the same star bonus as you, even if you wait 2 weeks?
Same star bonus, but typically there's already a bunch of people in Legend by that time, so I don't know. It may be different with this new MMR system, I'm really not sure, but I will say, like, trying to grind out Legend day 1 is a lot more difficult as it is like a week later.
Hey, can I say something before I forget it?
Yeah, of course.
Because we have Martian here, and you just said it. So, day 1, Martian 1.
Lost your audio.
Yeah, we can't hear you over there, Mike.
Cutting out, yeah.
I'm cutting out?
You're good now.
Oh, I apologize. Martian, I put out a tweet on the first of them talking about, the stress of, 11 star. Not that it's hard to get Legend, but just like 11 star isn't all it's cracked up to be. And then on day 1, right before I got Legend, I was just kind of like this little kid, like this little voice, like, hey, like, don't say that. I was like, hey, I'm like, I didn't get Legend yet. Don't say it's that bad. And then I enter Legend at rank 80, and then I proceed to take literally 18 days off in a row.
How far did you decay?
So for 18 days off, I went from rank 80 to like 292.
That's not bad. Wow, that's not bad at all for decay. Jeez, still top 300.
But then I was playing, and it was the same old decks, and I was just like, all right. And Nate, that's where I got that Reno ETC Dragon War. I was like, I'm tired of all the same stuff. I need something crazy, something random different.
Yeah.
I went 7-0, beat Secret Mages, took another few days off, come back, and I'm just like, you know what? Like, let's play standard. Let's take Martian Advice. I saw a tweet, and then I was like, you know what? I think he was right. Like, I think 10 stars where it's at. Like, I was like, I'm like Martian. I want to trade it in.
Yeah,
I don't know if you will, but I think I'm going to.
The 11 star bonus, like, especially when I finish higher, because I've noticed a difference from when like I end in top 10 and when I end at like 150. Like, you queue against like 3 people the whole time. You wait like 5 minutes in bronze. Like, I have to wait like 5 minutes in bronze to find a game, and it's against the same person. So like, I queued against the same person a lot in August after like Broken Darklair. I finished like, I think 9th that month, and I was trying to like do something fun to Legend, but I couldn't. Oh, it was Dead Man's Hand. I was trying to Dead Man's Hand to Legend. I couldn't because most of my opponents were that same person who knew what I was playing. So like they started playing Dark Lair, which demands hand farms, and switched to Reno Lock, which it has a lot of trouble with. And it's like, I'm not going to get mad at them for switching to a deck that can beat their only opponent, but why does the system work that way? Like, why am I punished so much for doing well? I feel like if you do well, you should be happy. But like, I don't want to wait 5 minutes in bronze to find a game. Like, give me the old star bonus.
Yeah, even if you dumpster yourself on purpose, say next season, you may not lose the 11 star right away. Because it's forgiving, right? You're allowed to have like an off month or whatever. So they may be like, he didn't do as well this time. We'll let him keep that 11 star. No,
no, this is interesting, right? Because Blue Train's a good friend of mine, and we'd gone back and forth with that same argument where he's like, it's kind of miserable to play 11 stars because, like you said, you're queuing against the same opponents. They're harder matches. They're long queue times. But then there's that flip side, right? That like, I worked so hard to get this, and do I really want to let it go now? And now I'm afraid to queue into a ranked match because if I lose, then I'm gonna, you lose ranks. And but it was interesting because he sort of, I think, I don't want to speak for him too much, but had basically kind of threw it 1 month and didn't think they were going to give it to him, and he got it the next month anyways. And so I'm not quite sure what the magic behind the curtain is here.
I don't know. I want to be able to both try for a rank and have a pleasant experience afterwards. It's weird to me that like,
I don't know if those two things go together.
You bother to reset the ranks. You bother to put me back in bronze, but then you don't let me play against other bronze people. Like the whole point of the tiered system is to put you where you're like a little bit your skill, but also your time investment is worth. Like that's the whole point of the rank system. Yeah. So like the if that's not what it is, if it's really the hidden MMR, why do we have the rank system in the first place? And I feel like they know that people don't like this because if you're not legend yet, you don't get to see your opponent's rank. I think that they know that people would not like this system if they could see it. So they hide it from us so that it doesn't frustrate us. But like, I don't like it.
Not at all. I think this whole system should switch over to I don't know if you guys watched this show, to season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh. So like, you got your deck with you, you walk around, you see somebody, you battle them. Forget MMRs and tiers and all that. Yo, let's go. You got a collection, I got a deck, you got a deck, let's go, man. That way,
it's like Pokemon like too.
Buu,
I'm gonna go
wait 5 minutes for a match. Like he's ready. Like you have a line of people. Like I want the rank up, kids. Let's go.
Yep.
We say Pokemon.
Oh, I was just saying, it's like Pokemon. Hey, let's go over to Pallet Town. I'm just gonna. Hey, let's battle. Who's the gym leader?
You made eye contact. Challenge.
Yeah. This is theoretically the purpose of the friends list is to acquire friends and battle them randomly.
Yeah.
Well,
but there's no more.
Yeah, I was gonna say if only we had 80 gold quests again.
Yeah, but see, Martian, like I have 201 friends, so therefore I can't use the list because then all my friends are in attendance.
Feels bad, man.
They get up that friends list.
Yeah. All right, well let's move on a little bit. I really like this list. It looks like a lot of fun. Before we kind of wrap up the show and get into this co-op portion where we play it, is there anything special about this that we need to know in terms of strategies or mulligans or matchups or just anything advice wise for this? Like what would you keep in your opening hand, for example? Like patches or
you'd think so. I drew him a lot this past week. I've had some patches days in the past, but it's felt weird this week. He's felt like he's hung out in my hand a lot more than he used to. But yeah, no, you don't want to keep patches for sure. You do want to keep literally any other pirate in your opening hand for the sake of getting him out of your deck on turn 1, though. Right. So I will keep any pirate over not a pirate for the purposes of getting patches out of the deck. Buccaneer is like the one that you want because he curves into your weapon. So you play Buccaneer on turn 1, and then on turn 2, your hero power becomes Fiery War Axe because Buccaneer's on the board. Gives the +1 attack to your weapon. Deckhand is also fine. I'll still play him on 1, even if he doesn't get charge, because you want to get patches out of the deck. And same thing with Plunderer. Plunderer is better off of like Secret Passage once you've played a bunch of cards in the turn.
Right.
Because like he does more damage the more cards you play. But he's still a turn 1 pirate that will pull patches out. So I will keep him and play him on 1 for no effect value just to get patches out.
It's still a 2/1, right?
It is still a 2/1. Yeah.
With a cute
and then
And if a mage ends up using their turn 2 or a coin to paying a 2/1, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not the word.
That's the thing is like against certain matchups, if they're gonna like coin and druid hero power or mage hero power your Buccaneer, so what? You know, like they've wasted their coin to remove your 2/1. Spy Mistress and Tour Guide are also very good on 1. If I have like the rest of it is just kind of like what's the rest of your hand. So like if you have something to play on 1 that's good and you're like on the coin, for example, you can keep like Nitro Boost and Wolf Rider just because you have something to play on 1 and then you have something to coin out to upgrade your Nitro Boost, so your Nitro Boost is live.
Ooh, yeah.
And then on like 3 you could play Hero Power Nitro Boost if any of your minions have survived, or save it for later if they haven't. But I've kept Cutting Class very situationally. Like it's got to be with like a god hand of some kind where like, you have some combination of Nitro Boost, Deadly Poison, way to upgrade it, something to play on 1. If you know that your attack, the attack of your weapon is going to be high enough, Cutting Class can be okay to keep, but it's very rare. Your hand has to be amazing. And then Secret Passage, again, especially on the coin, if you're up against a slow matchup and you have something to do early on, Secret Passage is your refill for later. So good to keep that.
When I mean, I understand that this is primarily a face deck, but I sort of struggle with it, and I think aggro decks a lot of times are really difficult to play just because these like micro decisions can greatly impact the game. So I guess what my question is when, particularly with your weapon, but your minions as well, when do you go face versus when do you work on board presence?
Do you guys know QB?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
QB shared some wise words with me once about Odd Demon Hunter, which was face goes minions, minions go face. So you want to use your dagger to clear off your opponent's minions and keep your minions on board. You also have to think about like, what am I protecting? So like, if you're in a situation where you have to give up 1 damage to protect 1 damage, why did you give up a damage? So like, you think about like, you want to protect like your important things on the board from what your opponent is going to like remove or whatever. But if you're sacrificing more damage from your weapon to protect less damage from your board, it's not worth it. So you just have to like, I frequently trade with my weapon. I rarely trade with my minions, but I will do it sometimes. And you just have to think about like, is it worth giving up this damage that could have gone face to save my board?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's always those decisions, and it could be the end of the game where if you had 2 more damage that you did push face, maybe you could have won that game because you weren't being aggressive enough. That one's got me recently. Where they actually had 1 health left because I was trading too much. And I'm like, if I only went face just a little more. So
yeah, well, there's also the concept, right, that if your minions are like 1 for 1 and you don't have a weapon, like make your opponent trade, right? Like why should I trade? Make them do it.
Yeah, you never want to make a trade that your opponent's going to make on their turn.
Heck yeah.
They're going to do it because you're the aggressor, so they're going to trade for you.
Right. So this is interesting. Someone had, I had played a lot of Kingsbane, I don't know, a month or so ago. I love Kingsbane. I'm not super good at it, but I absolutely love that deck. And early on, we were not running any saps in that deck at all. And people were asking that same type of thing. Like, hey, how come no sap? It's like, well, when they're dead by turn 5, then you don't need sap. So... that's interesting though, and I think that it's these style of deck. It's a lot more complicated than just go face all the time, because that's not going to work when they kill all your minions and all you've got left is a buff dagger every turn. So good concepts, yeah. This may be the time that I have to break down and craft Baku in gold. I've been avoiding it, but it might be the time. Might be the time.
It's free. It's free value. If you have a golden Baku, you have a golden hero power.
Have golden hero power anyways, though. That's the problem.
Wait, but do you hold on? If you have a golden hero but a non-golden Baku, does it go to a regular hero power?
I don't think so. I think like when something would conflict, it favors gold.
Because that would be lame.
I think it used to.
I know with the Death Knights, if yours isn't gold, it goes to a plain one when you already had gold. That one kind of bums me out.
That is true. Yes.
I don't know why they had to do that to me. Well, Nate, you don't have that problem because you crafted all the Death Knights in gold.
Yes, I did. No, I never crafted Gen and Baku in gold. I probably should. I don't know.
I'm missing one gold Death Knight. Can you guess which one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Shaman, but that's my guess.
Yeah, it's. I don't have Thrall, Dusty, or gold. I have them regular. I have a complete collection, but I don't have them in gold. I have all the other ones.
Nice. So yeah. What is your? We're waiting for Mike to get back. What is your hot take on golden cards? Good, bad, waste of money, or what?
Well, everyone has different situations, right? So I would say if you get a lot of joy out of golden cards, then you should craft golden cards. Especially like some people like to hang out with just a few decks. Like they have like their couple of things that they really enjoy. Most Hearthstone cards are bad, so you don't need all of them. You can spend your extra dust towards having fancier cards of the cards you like.
Yeah, if that's the thing you like.
I like that
Why
take, and that was one of the things that like I really enjoy Kingsbane, for example, and most of the pirates are like commons or rare, like it's not that expensive to craft them in gold.
And neutral.
Or neutrals, so right? Where you could, so you can play them in multiple decks. And so when I look at this, I'm like, oh, I've already got Leroy and Lotheb and Cutting Class and Tour Guides. So having some utility, I think, is nice. So
Schmoopy Daddy in chat is reminding me. I was coming through my collection. I think I was just building Mill Rogue is what it was recently. And I noticed I have one golden gang up. And I have one golden of lots of things, but most things don't come out of adventures, and gang ups do. So, like, somewhere along the line, I crafted a single golden gang up. I don't have two. I just, like, crafted one golden gang up for some reason.
Reno deck.
No, like, why would you put gang up in a Reno deck, though?
I don't know.
It turns out
because you wanted to complete a challenge.
I guess so. My biggest theory right now is that, like, I used to really love Mill Rogue back in the day. My guess is that, like, I got excited for having that deck golden and didn't wait until I had all the dust like I usually do. I just crafted one golden gang up and got bored of the deck before I finished.
That's hilarious. Stopped halfway.
That's pretty funny. All right. Well, I think let's wrap it up here. For those of you who are interested in learning more about this deck, when the show is over, we're gonna take this deck for a spin on the Wild Ladder. I'm not quite sure who's gonna pilot it tonight, but we'll have fun doing it either way. The co-op gameplay will end up on YouTube, so if you can't watch it live tonight, you can partake later. Cool. Thanks for sharing this. So this looks like a lot of fun, and it's something different than I normally play, so I'm excited. The next thing up, right? So we've done it for the last 3 weeks now, is a listener challenge. And these have been fun. Now, the problem that we've had is that apparently we made them too easy because I love you guys, Seth and Megamog and a couple others. We created these challenges, and here's the idea, right? We'll give you some kind of challenge. Whoever does it first will gift you a couple of packs, like kind of nominal gift, but you get bragging rights, and they were just too easy. So I know you guys just crushing them, and so I believe the first challenge was to get lethal with a novice engineer, of course, and they made it super easy. Okay, all right, let's do something more difficult. Lethal with a doomsayer. And then these guys, within an hour of the show being over, this podcast hasn't even posted to iTunes or whatever yet. These guys posting in our Discord, we did it already. And so then we had Hazer on the show, and Hazer made a comment to the effect of, hey, it's really difficult to get 5 ETCs on the board at once. And so we made that our challenge. 1 hour it took these guys to do this. And so clearly we're doing something, like we're making it too easy. So we need to come up with something more difficult.
Oh, I got you.
And so, I'm interested. This is time.
I got the solution. I really do.
All right. So what is your take on this? Something that's a little bit harder. And then before you say your solution, one other sort of problem that we've had is because these guys were able to do it, guys or gals, I really don't know, not that it matters, were able to do this so quickly. It was, I don't know if fair is the right word, but listeners of the podcast. So for those of you that don't know, we record the show live Friday night. Typically the podcast goes live on either Saturday or Sunday, and then people listen to it throughout the week whenever it's convenient, right? And so by the time people listen to it, like, they have already completed the challenge like days ago at this point. And so do we either say, hey, there's going to be 2 winners, someone, immediately who watched it live, and then someone later? But then how do we police that, And then the other thing is, like, clearly these challenges have been too easy, and so I want to do something difficult, like hard.
I got both solutions.
All right, rock and roll. I mean, I want to hear from all you guys, but Mike, you go first.
So because I feel like, I'm not saying mine will win, but I feel like mine are very good, so I will let everyone else go first out of respect. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. So,
no, anything
Martian.
but yeah. All right, Martian, what do you think?
Martian,
You could have it be the person who's done it the most. So, like, at the end of the week, if you've done it, like, the person with the most screenshots of completing the challenge wins it.
Ooh.
That could be a grind.
I guess it could be a grind, but I don't know how else you would do that. As far as a challenge, I could see, like, destroy 3,000 armor in one go with a plate breaker, but especially now that you can give your opponent armor.
You could shutter walk them up to a lot of armor.
Interesting.
Yep. That's cool.
Okay. I'm a big proponent of think outside the box solutions, and so I enjoy hearing this stuff. Chat, okay, chat over here is like crickets now. Okay, the chat has been popping off the entire show, and now everyone's like, if you guys have ideas, you feel free to post them while we're talking about this.
Hydralisk, what you thinking?
The only thing that I can think of to really change it up where there can be more than, say, one winner would be if there was 2 challenges. That's the only thing I can really think of, is we announce one at the end of the show like we've been doing, and all the people that are going for it, racing for it right away, they can go for it. They can see who gets it first. And then possibly we can release another one on Twitter possibly later in the week.
Okay.
Like wait a few days, or because it's really hard because it depends on your work schedule, whatever. Maybe you don't get to listen to the show till next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, you could do a raffle. Like it could just be if you've completed the challenge, then you're entered in to win the pack.
I kind of like
cool.
that. I mean, we're paying for this out of pocket. Not that it's super expensive, but it starts to add up if we start awarding multiple winners. So
that's a really good idea, Martian. I like that. We could. So what? Okay, that is good. I really enjoy that. We could still do. It's hard to say. I like the idea of whoever completes it first, but yeah, it could add up if we're doing that and a raffle. But we can discuss it, or we could just do the raffle.
I think that's a pretty interesting concept of anybody that does the challenge post that you did it, and then we would pull a winner from those who did it. Like we could do a wheel decide or something. I don't know. Okay, Mike, what is your grand plan?
All right, so you guys kind of sort of cracked into it. So here's the thing: we have a challenge where we have this blessing of a live crowd, and then somebody who's going to listen to the show Wednesday. So we shouldn't limit the challenge to like the first one who does it gets it. It's exactly what you guys had started to talk about. When you finish a challenge, that's your entry into the contest next Friday. This way, everybody who listens to our show and somehow, God bless you, you get the challenge done in 60 minutes. Now you're entered to be in the name for a raffle, like Martian or Hydra said. Was it Martian or Hydra? Martian
said it first. Yeah.
Martian, yeah, all right.
Look at that, top tier player, top tier idea. It's awesome.
I knew we had you on the show for a reason.
You get entered into a raffle, so that will solve the issue of multiple people getting it done, and we're trying to figure out who gets it first, who gets paid. That's no problem. So the way this can work, I think, is it'll help everybody out. And then what was our second issue? My brain is.
Just what challenge?
It's just making something more difficult.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. All right. Are you guys cool if I put this challenge out? Because this is gonna be tricky.
I don't even know what it is, man.
Ready?
Shoot your shot.
It's awesome. You got to enter this raffle. You have to take a screenshot of yourself attacking for lethal with a 1 mana Dark Moon Rabbit.
Oh.
I don't see anybody completing that in 1 hour. I've been sitting on that for 6 days. Yeah.
Lethal with the 1 mana Dark Moon Rabbit.
And
so
I also like that it's got to be, you got to attack for it, because what we saw early on was people conceding.
Yep.
And so does it has to be a 1 mana, but you could buff it potentially, right? I guess I don't want to give anyone any ideas. So okay.
Oh no,
yeah, don't say that, because I already just came up with
3 ways to do it. Don't. Yeah.
All right. So wait. So here's the rules, right? You gotta prove that you attacked for lethal with a Dark Moon Rabbit that cost 1 mana.
Mm-hmm.
If can it be a Zombiest?
It's exactly what Nate said. Take a screenshot.
That's a no.
The Dark Moon Rabbit costs 1 mana. You attack for lethal. Boom.
Yeah, if either screenshots, I think I would probably be okay with also a video or an HS replay if you accidentally missed but we have to see it hit face. I like that.
Couple of classes you can do it in. I'm ready.
Well, and I like that too, because it's not. Some of the feedback that we received was, hey, if you do some challenge that requires me to own like a certain like legendary card or whatever, it's like then we it's sort of biased against people who don't have a large collection. But I think that this is okay. Hey, it's an epic. It's an epic. What's your challenge? Tell us offline. Tell us offline, because maybe we use it for next week.
Real quick for the audio listeners, the thing Nate just said, I understand that, but as the content creators, Martian can understand this. Like us podcasters, we're trying to put out content. It does become like a lot of pressure or weary if every time we try to do something. Ready? I'm going to do a tournament. Oh well, don't make it this way because of my collection. All right. We're going to do a fun contest. Well, don't make it this way because of my collection. It's like, all right, well, when can we start having fun? I understand that critique, But there are some times where we, as a content creators, we just gotta be like, you know what, this is what it is. We're gonna do this, and then let's go. So.
Oh yeah, like 1 week maybe you don't have the card, so you can't participate. But then the challenge changes every week, so you could do the next week's challenge maybe.
I like it.
Yeah, the first two were Novice Engineer and Doomsayer. Everybody by now usually has those cards, so maybe we'll pick one this week that's a card maybe people don't have, and then we can go back to something different the next time. So yeah. I like it. We can switch it up. Go back.
Like we're gonna have this listener league. The rules are different every week. Like everyone's able to play in that. We're gonna have these contests. If some cards are more rare than others, sure. But like Martian said, there's gonna be a new contest next week. Like it's just for fun. Like I'm excited for it. Like I want to make sure we're putting out a product where like everyone's having fun. Like this podcast is cool. Like I'm excited for this episode. Thank you, Martian, for being here. Before we get out of here, man, this is cool.
Yeah. This is a lot of fun. Okay. So we're clear on what the challenge is this week, right? Just one last time. The challenge is lethal with a Dark Moon Rabbit that costs 1 mana. You've got to show us proof, screenshot, video, HS replay. Also, one thing I want to be really clear on is the location where you share it with us. I want it in the Discord. We created a new channel this week called Contest Entries. Please put it there, because what happened last week was, and this is not a bad problem to have, this is kind of great, is that the Discord has been so like popping that people posted it in like the main lounge chat or whatever, and within a day or two, it like I couldn't find it anymore. I had to ask people, hey, who did it and where is it? Because I can't find it. And thankfully, we've got awesome people that pointed it out. But like, please post it in the contest entries section so that we can actually find it, because otherwise we're going to miss it. So yeah, big shout outs to Megamog and to Seth, who we just awarded both of them because they did it so close to each other last time. But anyways, this week going forward, please post your results in the contest entry section of the Born to Be Wild Discord. All the links are on our website or everywhere else. And whoever also does it will put you in a raffle for the winner. We'll announce it on next week's show.
Yeah, I was gonna say shout out to anybody who still did. A lot of people still did the challenge even though it was over.
That was super cool. I love seeing that.
Ben Hearthstone posted something about doing it. A few others posted something about doing it, like just for fun. Like they knew it was over. Ben. Yeah, so like, I thought that was pretty cool. Just jamming it anyway. Just part of the club.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think this rewards people who want to still partake. And honestly, like the gift of a couple packs, it's nominal, right? It's more about the bragging rights. But I think that at least this way, it doesn't punish people who, some people like to go out and like do stuff on Friday night or stay in and do stuff on Friday night and not watch the show live. And that's fine, So, all right, I like it. No, it's not. Yeah, I find it personally a little offensive, but God, joking. So anyways, we have some fun things in store for you guys planned for the next couple of months. I don't think we're quite ready to unveil yet, but Mike and I spent a long time talking today. We've got some pretty awesome ideas in store. Some great guests coming up and some neat ideas for a lot of things. Please stay tuned over the next week or so for a listener participation survey that kind of asks what do you want to see as part of the show. And please feel free to be candid, share your thoughts with us. We're not going to put you on blast, and you can say good things, you can say bad things. If constructive criticism is appreciated, and so if you've got ideas, we're happy to listen. If you want to just tell us that we're awesome, that's cool too. But I think if there's things that we could do better, we're happy to hear that. So anyways, hey, Martian, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. Like, it has been an absolute blast. We meant to go for 2 hours and we hit almost 3, which is how much that shows how much fun we're having. And I think that's what I like the most about this show, is that it's just so, I have a great time doing it. It's enjoyable hanging out with everybody. And so, we really appreciate your time. It was really good talking to you. For people out there who are interested in following you or following your content, where can they find you?
Oh, first of all, thank you guys so much for having me on. It has been really fun for me as well. I love coming on and talking to you guys about stuff. So you can find me MartianBuu, Martian spelt like from Mars, and Buu BUU on all by that same word on Twitch and on Twitter and on YouTube.
Awesome. Everybody go check them out.
Sweet. Yes, absolutely. Definitely go watch him invade ladder. It's a lot of fun. I love watching you personally. I just one more time will say that you're a pleasure to watch. I love your demeanor is so calm that I don't know. I find it personally really enjoyable. It's very chill atmosphere. Learn a lot from watching you play. And I personally get a lot more out of it watching someone high level play, enjoying themselves versus someone who gets angry and yelling and stuff. So
I really appreciate that.
Anyways, yeah, Mike, where can people find you?
Real quick, I want to toss it to Hydra. We got a special announcement. Toss to Hydra.
Yeah, all right, Hydra, where can people find you?
Everyone can find me here every single Friday night at 6 p.m. Where do we live? The West Coast. Everybody come us check us out. 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's where I'm always at. Also, you can find me on my personal Twitter and Twitch at Hydralisk_HS, and always in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord already, come check it out. We got all sorts of different channels, lots of good people. We got all the deck lists that are going on, whether it be memes or the top tier deck lists. We post all the different Tempo Storm versus Syndicate stuff is in there. We got lots of discussion for every single class for all the decks happening all the time. I can't
It's
even
a great
keep up with
resource,
it.
yeah.
I can't keep up with it. So come check it out. It's a good time.
Rock and roll. All right, Mike, we got a fun plan for you guys for the month of February. So Hydra, I apologize, we didn't get a chance to talk about this yet, but I think that it's going to be a great opportunity. And so, surprise, Mike, I'm going to pass it over to you.
All right. So like Nate had said, Hydra, we didn't plan it behind your back. We were just excited about it. And pre-show, I kind of forgot, but we're ready to roll out. We're ready to roll this out. So Born to be Wild, all of February, we're going to have guests that are Black Hearthstone players. Quick round of applause. Just... Now, not making this a big spectacle, but we do want to take the opportunity to bring people that may not have an opportunity to get onto the show, and then give them that platform to discuss, their walks of life, where they come from, how they see the world, how they see the community, anything that makes them comfortable. And I'm really excited to do this. So our first guest for Black History Month next Friday, February 5th, is none other than Breadsticks. Everybody give a shout out to Breadsticks. I'm so excited for this. If you guys don't know Breadsticks, he plays many different games. Overwatch. He's playing some Valorant. He plays Legends of Runeterra, but he definitely plays Hearthstone, and he loves some Wild. So I'm excited to have him on. Breadsticks is a cool dude.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think this is a really great opportunity. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm excited. So
sounds great.
Yeah, this will be great. This will be great.
Pretty awesome.
All right,
because sometimes there's like conversations out there behind walls about like different colors and different clicks. So this will definitely pull back the curtain, break down some barriers, and show the community that we are really an inclusive podcast. We're not just saying it just to trick people or get Patreon. Like, we're not really playing games. Like, if you guys are in the Discord, you see how close in there, how cool everybody is. So I'm really excited for this. I'm glad Nate was open to the idea. I think Nate actually, if I put this right, Nate actually called me really excited about it, and it was cool because I've been thinking about it, but I didn't even approach Nate yet with it. So shout out to Nate. So,
yeah.
All the brothers out there, all the brothers. It wasn't even me; it was Nate. So, thanks, Nate.
I appreciate it.
That because Nate actually did call me yesterday and brought it up to me yesterday. So I did know.
Oh,
that
we had talked about it, but we hadn't finalized anything, and it's trying to between the three of us trying to play catch up, or tag all the time. It's a little bit difficult, but had the idea, and so I'm just excited. I think it's going to be a great opportunity. So
yeah, it's going to be great.
Yep, sounds good. I like it.
Anyways, hey Mike, where can people find you, by the way?
Oh yeah, that was my whole time. You guys can find me here and on Twitch at MikeLoTV. Like I said, I just got the capture card. I'll be playing some Switch games. I'm excited for it. I'll be playing all kind of games. Let me shut up.
By the way, yeah, I hear we may have some Dragon Ball Z in the house.
Oh yeah, MartianBuu told me. Yeah, oh yeah, man. I'm gonna be sick. Yo, Black Rot's coming back, baby. I don't care what they say.
All right. Hey, so you can find me primarily on Twitter at NateWolfTCG. It's NateWolfeTCG. More importantly, you can find the show and everything related at borntobewildhs.com. Again, that's borntobewildhs.com. If you go to the website, it's kind of the easiest kind of hub to find all of our stuff. And so rather than give you guys links to the Discord, links to the YouTube and all that stuff, go to borntobewildhs.com. You can read about us. You can read about what we like and who we are. You got links to the Discord, links to the YouTube, links to all of the other stuff that we do. Yeah, we really enjoy doing the show every week. We really enjoy interacting with people. It's been an absolute blast. We've met so many people and made so many friends and had an absolute just wonderful time doing this. And so thank you all for coming out. And of course, as tradition, I have to do this, y'all.
And now,
Lost your voice there.
Unrelated Advice with Nate Wolf.
All right, guys, I got a question to ask. So, as the sitting here for a long weekend, trying to enjoy some family time, and one thing I like to do this weekend is to sit down and cook a specialty meal. And so I'm looking for recipe ideas. When you guys want, like, when you're, that good old fashioned, like, craving, what is your favorite, like, home style recipe? What is your go-to, like, make it yourself? I'll start with you, Mike.
Sorry, I was answering Ben from working Discord. Okay. So like home style recipe, like what's my go-to?
Yeah, or like a comfort food, or like what do you crave?
Oh, comfort food. It used to be chicken Alfredo, but I think my body changed at some point. I'm 33 now. I'm not really feeling like dairy and Alfredo anymore. Kind of whatever. So for me, I like making Spanish rice, and I like grilling chicken and making some kind of vegetable. Does that help? Does that even answer your question?
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great.
Okay. Sorry, I started thinking about food. And I been sitting here for 3 hours, and it's like all kind of foods popping in my head. I'm like, chicken, broccoli,
This is, see, we stopped doing this for a couple weeks, and everybody got sad because the answers are always so good. Hydra, what about you?
My go-to homebrew. There's one thing that I pull out every once in a while, and I guess this is only going to appeal to people that eat meat, but it is my slow-cooked honey butter pork tenderloin roast.
Damn.
So it is, I buy 2 pork tenderloins, and I sear them quickly in the frying pan with a spice rub that's made of like cayenne, paprika, thyme, and onion powder and garlic. And then I make a honey butter sauce. So I take those and I throw them in the slow cooker. It's not on yet after they're seared. And then I make this honey butter sauce that is literally what I just said. It's honey. It's like 3/4 cup of honey and like a 1/4 brick of butter. And it's got a whole bunch more spices in it. And you make this on the stove with also, you mince a bunch of garlic in there, lots of it. And you make the sauce, and then you dump it all on top of the roast in the slow cooker. And you put that on low for like 5 hours. And when that's done, you take out all of the sauce and you pour it back in a saucepan. You add some cornstarch to thicken it up. And slice up the juicy pork tenderloin that's like the most tender thing you've ever eaten, and pour the honey butter sauce, drizzle it all over it, and it's amazing.
I hope you brought enough to share because
Damn.
I'm really hungry now.
Yeah, man. Shoot.
My wife loves it when I make that, and so does my kid. He's like, "Is that the one with the awesome sauce?" Yes.
Awesome sauce.
Yo.
All right.
When I throw this Nintendo Switch house party, can you bring?
I can't wait. One of these days, we all got to get together. All right.
Yeah.
Martian, what about you? What do you have what is your home cooked comfort food?
Something I make myself. Because I get cravings for like burgers or Taco Bell or something like that. But I think as far as like something that I myself have to put together, the only thing where I'm like just randomly craving it out of nowhere would be like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like every once in a while, I'm just in the mood. Gotta get that PB&J on.
You know, that's a solid answer. It is
really
because
appreciate that. Yeah.
I've forgotten the simplicity and the amazingness of a peanut butter and jam sandwich. Like, I remember I couldn't find anything to eat in the kitchen. I'm looking and I'm like, well, I do have peanut butter jam and bread. Sure. And I'm like, oh man, and I made like 2 more.
Yep.
No, I appreciate that answer, and I'm not BSing you because you're on the show. Because there are times for me myself where I go into these zones, like I'm about to tonight, into the next 2 days because I have no work, where I just play video games. Like I'm on this Switch all the time, and I'm just like, oh, I'm hungry for food. Like, I don't want to do anything, so it's easy to take 2 pieces of bread and just like slap them together, and bam, it's a meal. Like, back to games. Let's go.
Oh my God. All right. Wiser words were never spoken. And you heard that on Born to Be Wild.